Thanks for joining up. We'll get rolling. Last place we left you guys, you were about to arrive at this prison, which was the sort of your goal. Let's see, Margarito, your character, Carl Papa. You got some tips about someone you were trying to find within the prison. You guys would probably remember this. It was there's some kind of someone hiding out in the prison that had information on Operation Reset that you were looking for. The information you have about this prison is that it's sort of a haven for former sinners and people trying to redeem their lives. And it's protected from the outside predations of marauders and things like that. It's isolated a little bit from the front lines, and that there's a local Polish force that helps protect these sort of like this nascent like colony of religious folks, and they are run by are inspired by this messianic sort of or messianic. How do you say that? He's like a messiah. Anyways, yeah. This self-styled Rasputin. Who?
I'm here.
Hey, great.
So what were you talking about?
I was just sort of doing a bit of a recap.
So, I wasn't here, so
yeah, no problem. You didn't miss much. I was just checking in with everybody and just going over sort of what the goals were based on the last few sessions, and that was the group was approaching this prison in Piotrków, nearby Piotrków, and that Carl Papa, which is Magrito's character, he had gotten some intelligence that there was an important sort of an intelligence potential windfall. Someone who knew information about Operation Reset, which is this sort of mysterious top secret mission, was potentially hiding out in this prison. That the KGB wanted him, the GRU wants him, and his information, and the CIA and the DIA. Everybody wants this guy, but no one exactly knows who he is or where he is, but except that he might be in this prison, which was the latest tip. So you're on your way there. The prison itself is no longer a prison. I mean, it is a prison in appearance, and it still looks the same as it did prior to the war. But now it's been converted into sort of a religious commune, kind of. Its new leader has welcomed all former sinners to this place to live in peace and harmony, a place where there's food, medicine, and protection from the marauders prowling the countryside, and that they grow their own food and they live by their own laws. Actually sounds like it might be pretty good compared to countryside. And you managed to help some refugees along the way get here. You remember you gave a bit of medical attention, helped feed them some dog meat and stuff like that. So yeah, so on the way. And any other questions you guys had about the sort of the path leading here?
But I did want to point out that I took the liberty of recording what we got last session.
Okay.
It's in the party inventory handout.
Okay, cool.
There was also wasn't there also a renowned surgeon or doctor there at the
That's right.
prison or something?
That's right. There was some you had heard a rumor that there was a great doctor working there that has been helping locals, helping people that come to the prison. So that you have yet to confirm that rumor, but you've heard it more than once now on the way there.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So let's see. I'm looking at my notes. There's a contact there named Nikolai Borkovsky. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then the guy I'm looking for is Kaspar Vitovsky, or is that?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right, Casper Bukowski. That's the sort of the what you think is the name of this person who has the intel.
Got it.
And let's see.
So did
Yeah, the
they-
new character sheets are pretty cool. Hey, have you checked those out, you guys?
Yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah. So I've been testing them a little bit too. They work great. Okay. And now you've also heard some other rumors about this place, isn't it? That if you're accepted in, you're not allowed to carry weapons. So this is something you might have thought about how you might going to deal with, but it's still on the table. So if you're intending to go in and become part of the population, that's an issue you're gonna have to address. But you won't know more. That's a rumor, anyways. You won't know more until you actually arrive. So, any other preparations or questions you might have about the upcoming situation?
Are you clicking a
I
pen or something?
suggest-
Like I hear like a clicking noise.
On my mouse.
Oh, that's your mouse? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, he's got to get all those actions per minute. He's playing competitive StarCraft. What I would like to do is do a sort of networking check to just figure out any sort of updated info we got about the prison once we arrive. Because a lot could have happened between now and then.
Yes.
So we reconnected after visiting the informant. We were reconnected with the refugees, right? I think that's where we left it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe so. Yeah.
you got bamboozled by the kid and was led to an ambush or something.
No. He was like he's just like another spook who was torturing somebody outside the barn. Remember?
Yeah, no, he had a kid used as a lookout.
Yeah, but yeah, there was no. You guys weren't ambushed, anyways. But yeah, I remember you did reconnect with the refugees, I believe, and now we're on your way back to, or on your way to the last leg of the trip to the mission, to the prison.
just a question about the party inventory. Do
Mm-hmm.
we actually have 2 UAZs? I thought the other one was pretty much destroyed.
Yeah, the other one was blown up, basically. So I think
we
it
just
is.
have one in good condition.
That's right. And so we can talk about that first too, because that Izzy blew up that one UAZ that was coming at her, that had the Dishka in the back, and she hit it with her RPG and blew the rear suspension off, among other things. But so you could probably scavenge that first UAZ for parts for your current UAZ. I know there's some rules for maintenance and stuff, and upgrading the reliability of a vehicle or a piece of gear if you've got extra parts. So that's one way you can utilize that one destroyed UAZ, or you could attempt to fix that UAZ that's been destroyed by finding, another UAZ that has a good suspension system.
Yeah, because we ended right after that fight, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okay,
Right.
so there's like a blown up UAZ, a bunch of dead people. Or no, wait, we captured a bunch of them and blew up a truck or something.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think we
talking with
captured,
them
like,
right
3 of
now.
them.
Don't worry about it.
Good idea, actually. How about we install the Dishka on our current UAZ and scavenge the old UAZ for parts?
Yeah, that's perfectly viable plan.
Yep. Here's the thing: even if that Dishka doesn't have any ammo in it, we could just use it for intimidation's sake.
Yeah, it's
We
intimidating.
have ammo for it.
You get a few
But I'm
rounds.
saying-
Not a lot of it, but
But yeah, we could just use it for intimidation. So say, hey, this we have a fucking Dishka. Comply, or we will use it.
Yeah, for sure. Once the lead starts flying, you burn through that half belt of ammo pretty quick on it, but still, it'll do a lot of damage if you can hit with it.
Spoiler: we're not going to hit with it.
You guys want to do it?
Actually, we do
The
have,
prisoners.
there's Izzy. There's Izzy, who's pretty good with heavy weapons.
Is who?
There's Izzy, who's pretty good with heavy weapons. Maybe we could assign her onto that.
she's our driver.
Sure, but I don't. But yeah, but you don't need heavy weapons to fire the machine gun. I think you just need ranged combat. Heavy weapons is for like RPGs, large
Light
caliber
machine guns.
weapons of 12.7 millimeters. Yeah. I
Did
think.
they change that?
Or maybe I got it wrong. Let me just check. Is heavy weapons always used for machine guns?
Yeah, for battlefield weapons and launchers.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. My bad. You guys are right.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought. I thought it was. I was looking because there's a lot of complaints about that. Yeah, all machine guns are fired using heavy weapon skill. It's page 64.
Gotcha.
Light machine
bad, you-
guns,
you guys are
general,
right.
heavy.
Cool. So yeah, I guess if Izzy's got heavy weapons, does anyone else have heavy weapons?
I do. I have a D in heavy weapons and a C in strength. Not the best, but will do in a pinch.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Well, I mean, I can't drive and shoot at the same time, so
Can
No.
someone else
Yeah,
drive?
just
All right, but there's people that like use their cell phones while driving, or eating while driving, or even doing their makeup. Right? You can do it.
I can just see you with
There
your.
aren't any cell phones in this alternate universe. At least no good cell phones.
Yeah, I can see Izzy sitting in the rooftop position using her one foot to steer the steering wheel. But yeah, if someone's going to man the Dishka, and if you're going to transfer it to the to a rig on the UAZ, your current UAZ, your functional one, then she obviously can't drive and shoot at the same time. Someone else will have to drive.
Could even get one of the refugees to do it for us.
Drive the vehicle.
Maybe.
Does
Yeah.
no one else have drive? I mean, I can drive if you want. I
Yeah,
don't have
and anyone.
skill drive, but I have an agility.
Yeah, anyone can drive. It just yeah, if you don't have the skill, it just makes it a little trickier when it comes to that time when you need your skill check.
Yeah.
If you're doing anything crazy behind the wheel.
well, we're gonna need a good
I
driver
guess-
consistently. I mean, in terms of like the machine gun, that's kind of circumstantial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the drive and somebody else shoot the machine gun?
Mhm.
Sounds like
Yeah,
a plan.
we'll put Gerard on the machine gun. How's that sound?
So are we going to
Sure.
spend the shift here kind of resting and scavenging and stuff?
You can. It's evening now at the end of the. You could push on another hex. It'll be night. Into the prison. So if you wanted to spend the night in the countryside before getting to the prison, you can do that. But that's up for you guys to decide.
How many field rations did I have, by the way?
How many? I'm sorry. How much? How much? What? How many food rations?
Field
Yeah, I'm not sure if I didn't keep track of it on. Is it on your character sheet?
rations? 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just forgot to record my the rations.
Gotcha. So, what do you guys think? Are you going to spend the night in the countryside, or push on to the prison and arrive after dark?
I say we take the night off. We should rest, resupply, get the dish going, etc., etc.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nah, no,
Yes,
I'm good
that's
with
good.
either.
Okay.
I want to.
Okay.
So
Well-
one thing about prisoners we have, I want to like search them for 9mm rounds or something.
Oh, that's a good point. Would they have any rations? Because I'm getting kind
Yeah,
of low.
rations.
Oh God,
Yeah.
we're not going to cannibalism, guys. Jesus.
No, I'm not talking about eating down. I'm talking about eating their food.
Yeah, you do. You find 3 of the Russian equivalent MREs, and then there's about 2 days rations for wild food.
What about water?
Yeah, definitely. There's 3 days rations of water amongst them.
Can I get the water? Any guys need water? Because I'm pretty low.
No, I have 4 days worth.
Oh,
Currently.
I only got 3.
Yeah, I could use water.
Okay, these prisoners are bound. I assume they're tied up, or flex cuffed, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'll be
Yeah.
doing that.
Their sergeant is like,
supposed to
"Well,
be-
you take all our food. What about us? Like, what are you going to do with us?"
Oh, you're coming
Well,
with
this
us.
is wait. This is the Marauders that.
Yeah, yeah,
Marauders, right? They
That's right.
were Russian, right?
that's correct.
Uh huh.
We're not executing
Alright.
people that surrendered, Gerard.
Yes. Agreed, Gerard.
I'm saying that to him in clear Polish.
That's a little war crime.
Yeah, because you captured most of them, actually.
Yeah, I was able to get them to surrender, so I'll just be talking with them casually, just trying to figure out what's up with the whole area and all that. And yeah, figure out their story.
Do they have any 9mm ammo?
Oh yeah, sorry, Magrito. You do. There was 2 pistols amongst them, and there's a total of 3 reloads worth of 9mm. I think you can use that 9mm in your bison.
Yes.
With
So
the
I will
Makarov,
take
but,
those.
keep in mind. Keep
I'm
in
sorry.
mind that the bizarre.
Just a second, one sec, laser rifle. What were you saying, Magrito? There.
I will take those.
Okay, great.
Did
I say go
anybody get
ahead,
hurt?
laser rifle.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think anyone got hurt. Yeah, so Magrito, just
Well,
check
for
the
prisoners,
amount of bullets held in the Makarov. So
Makarov?
you can get
Okay.
the total. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Sorry, go ahead, Ramba.
I was about to say, I think we hit some of our prisoners, so if he wants to like heal them, even though we were enemies, that wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Sure, I could do that. I'd start making medicine or whatever. Otherwise, they're going to die from infections and all those things.
Yeah.
Gerard will object.
That's fine.
Noted.
That's your prerogative. Yeah.
I asked Gerard if he could look at my rifle. It had an issue last time. It actually dropped in whatever they call reliability.
Yeah.
So
This is
Gerard,
Ernest,
friend, could you take my rifle and maybe scavenge parts off of the other ones and bring her back to working condition?
Yeah, okay, so Gerard is just that. So Gerard says, well, I'll can maybe provide some help with that, but are you sure you want to let them live?
Sure, I want to let them leave.
Live.
Yes, they've
Live.
surrendered.
How do we know that if we let them leave, they won't disturb anyone else?
How do you know that if you let them live, they will disturb anyone else? I mean, there's a logic there, Gerard. They have surrendered. They have given up their arms. Right? We are. I know that you detest the Russian, but we cannot kill all of the people. Right? There are women and children and shoemakers that live there. Right? These are just soldiers that were given guns. They probably have families back home. Let them go.
Can I say
They're
that
they are no longer soldiers.
Can I say that Gerard might need some persuading with that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to role play it, you guys are well on your way. But if you want to actually do make a roll, Ernst can try and persuade Gerard.
Let's just see here. I got 2 successes on the manipulation. I don't have any negatives because I now speak fluent Polish. I took Polish as a specialty.
Yeah.
I
can try. It's a manipulation roll, right? That's a
Yeah,
strong
no, I
roll
was
for me.
I was helping because odds are
Okay.
I would be hearing this because
Yeah.
they probably still don't realize now I speak Polish.
Yes.
So, so are we going to use your roll, Katzman's roll that you just rolled, or do you want to make the roll, Ernst, and then we'll get help on modifier from Katzman because you guys can start from there, or
Sure.
use Katzman's roll. Okay.
You tell me. Do you want me? I can make a roll, and Katzman can help if you want to do that.
Well, 2 successes is good.
Oh, we could use that roll too.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing is I have 2 A's in that, so depends on what your manipulation is at.
Straight up B. Don't have any. I have a empathy B.
Yeah. So Gerard, you're being persuaded to let these guys live.
Yes.
And if you want to make it an opposed roll, you can do that.
Okay, but let's just try. I don't think it will work. Okay, so no, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Actually, it was physically impossible for it to work since he only had an empathy die.
Right. Now
Yeah,
there might have been other modifiers you overlooked, but go ahead.
Like the big thing, Gerard, is that, we're not animals. We're still people. Everything is getting destroyed all around here. This war is over. Let's just get these people to get home and see what's left of what their lives were once.
Well, fine. I guess that they're not worth the ammo.
Yeah, that the squad leader for the Marauders, who knows some Polish, was just silently following the conversation and knew better than to open his mouth and potentially piss off Gerard. So he just kind of visibly relaxes and he just nods almost imperceptibly at Katzman and Ernst, like, a silent like thank you.
Yeah,
He knew that there was some
in Russia.
But if that is the case, I will be taking one of those Makarovs. Thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, Magrito, Gerard wants one of those Makarovs, and maybe the 9. You might have to have a discussion with him about that, because Gerard, because Karl Pop already took those reloads for the Makarovs, so you can take a Makarov, but it won't have any ammo for it, I guess is the point.
Whatever, we can find some ammo later.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Yeah, I'll give take one of the Makarovs with a full magazine of 8, and I'll take the rest of the mags because those bisons are hungry.
Yes, they are. They chew through. Okay, so you take the food and water from the Marauders, and the sergeant asks you, Katzman, like, what did you say you were taking us with you?
I'm thinking of that. I mean, for God's sake, unless you know we're in how close your place is. Your guys on the European side grew up there, or are you on the Asian side?
They're formerly from the 9th Tank Division. You find out, which sort of what do you call it? They sort of mutinied in mass and just basically dispersed across the countryside, a little bit farther south and west from here. But Most of them have just sort of become marauders or living off the land. And these particular group was just slowly making their way, meandering back to the east, towards Russia. But they don't seem to have much goal beyond survival. And they look pretty dispirited overall.
I'll start tending wounds or tending.
Yeah, I'll,
Okay.
I'll have Ernst come up and have them and let them know that. I'm just like, well, I mean, I want to head home too, but I guess I don't want to really find out what happened to it. Is there even a home back there?
It's a good question. We heard we saw the missiles. There's been so much nuclear war. I have no idea what's waiting for me back home. He says to you.
Yeah, it's just along the lines of like that sort of thing. I'll try to make sure they at least still have some supply, so we'll take what's needed for us, but at least leave some of them for them.
Okay, and you're gonna essentially like aim them north and give them a shove, or let them join the refugees on your way to the prison, or keep them
I'll let
tied
them
up
know
as.
about the prison, see if they'd be interested in that. Being like, apparently
You
there's
sure?
like the war's over.
Sure, you want to leave them around with Gerard? Is that such a good idea?
Haven't you been persuaded?
He's been persuaded not to kill them.
Yes.
What's the worst that's going to happen? They start actually living with the Polish population and become mixed breeds.
Well, and they did go AWOL from a Soviet troop, right?
Yeah, they mutiny, but guess what? What's happening on your side is also happening on ours too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Officers just want to continue the war, just like your officers. It's so bad. Meanwhile, Mr. Poor Farmer, who's trying to grow potatoes, is not going to be able to grow potatoes in this weather.
Yeah, and so the marauder, like you tell him about your goal to go to the prison.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be a place there. We got some refugees that are looking to try to get away from the war. If it's up to you, we can let you guys head up north and back to basically what appears to be a Soviet supply post, but it's up to you guys.
Since we're gonna take the night off, Gerard is gonna repair the weapon.
Okay.
Thank you.
So these marauders will choose to leave. The sergeant seems to want to head back out into the wilderness. He tells you he's heard about this prison, but I'm not going there. There's a bunch of Bible thumpers, bunch of crazed lunatics, and I don't think the Russians are going to let that place stand long, especially if it's like I hear it's making tons of alcohol. I don't want to be around that place. It's gonna get attacked sometime. That's what he says.
Yeah, well, someone's going to attack it because if it's worth it like that, well, I'll then ask him if I could get his chevron thing and place it on my coat.
Oh, sure. He doesn't feel like he has much option to disagree with you being a prisoner, anyways. But he gives you his sergeant.
It's now Sergeant Katzman.
Field promotion.
Yeah, Katzman is betting on the fact is that there's no working bureaucracy that can actually check the personnel list.
That's right. Why stop at sergeant, right? Every higher ranking guy you meet along the way is going to be
No, because
decommissioned.
Officers are jerks.
Okay, so the evening goes by. Everyone has deduct your other ration for that day's travel, and you spend your night shift.
Can I do a test during the night shift to just check to see see if I can do something with the UAZ.
You bet.
Alrighty, I
So
got
I did the repairs with 2 successes on the gun.
Great. Nice.
And does that mean is it fixed completely?
Yes.
Thank you,
And if
Gerard.
that's the case, can I help? Can I? You are welcome. Either way, is Gerard allowed to help out with fixing the vehicle?
Yeah, I'm sure any assistance would be welcome, probably.
Yeah, I just got it.
So
I also have vehicle tools that help. So yeah.
Great. Okay,
he's
so
gonna do it with a +1, with like a +1 modifier.
I
nice.
just rolled 2 successes, so
Yeah, beauty. So the vehicle though is
Holy
Nice.
Color me
I
impressed.
guess,
Well.
I guess we may have our differences, but apparently we love restoring vehicles for some reason. Apparently
So,
we will do like one of those things you see in American films of like restoring a muscle car and going across Route 66.
You guys put
yeah,
a
I don't know
French
how you
Mac
did
on
it. Yeah. So the RPG had severed the mount for the rear shock absorbers where they attach to the axle, and you guys have managed to jury rig some kind of really effective reconnection there, and you got the rear wheels working again, the rear suspension working almost better than it was before.
So if that's the case, can I say that Gerard also managed to add in a little custom paint of his own while we're at it?
Well, I don't know if you have any paint, but yeah, like spray paint or something.
Yeah. Let's just say that how about we say that he does?
Sounds good. Can of spray paint.
He's gonna spray it with here. Let me just show you what he's gonna spray with. Moment. Where is it? Fuck. What the hell is that? Yeah, there it is. Trying to find it. Okay. Yeah. I think I've. Here. It's gonna spray with this. This
Nice. Little Polish. Is that Polish?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Nice.
Albanian.
I think that the white bird on the white or the red field or the opposite actually. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, you do have 2 vehicles now functioning, and Izzy brings up a good point. Who's going to drive? But as someone, I guess, like I said, anyone can drive as long as it's when things get sticky.
We'll get this thing going. We'll get this thing into the town. All of this with you guys. So, if anyone wants to ride with me, let me know.
Sure.
Okay, so Ernst hops in with Ramba in the new Jeep, and it was slightly damaged. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe some of the. Do we want to put them in the Jeep? I was thinking maybe some of the older refugees would be riding the Jeep too.
Yeah, Ernst, you just make sure to get into the back seat and all that. But yeah, we'll get that going. I'll put it on and see if they have like those songs that are always playing about American music, like Chumbawamba.
Okay, and then you guys head off. Now there was some alcohol in the tanks of the, or some fuel in the tanks of that UAZ. I think you guys made a note of it. Just gonna check. Oh yeah, you guys have some, but UAZ good condition. Yeah, 41 liters, right? And you still have some extra ethanol for your vehicle, or was that your vehicle actually? Yeah, that's your vehicle.
We don't know how much fuel is in this one.
Okay. I think it was less than half a tank, like a third of a tank. Yeah. So let me just check here.
Like I say to Ernst, is we can just get like a plow to attach it as UAZ, and then we have a tractor, and that would make give us a lot stronger bargaining position for getting supplies for us to continue traveling.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Well, since we have a second UAZ, how about we just get some of the refugees on them?
Yeah, they had been.
Ernst already. Yeah.
Yeah. We got some of the older ones who have trouble walking and moving, the elderly ones, and anyone who's really sick. They've been already kind of thrown into the not thrown in, but allowed a space to stack them like cordwood. Yeah, thrown them into the back of the UAZ so they don't have to walk. So you guys got a nice little convoy kind of developing here, and. Oh yeah, so the amount of fuel in that second UAZ is 20 liters. That's enough to get you to prison, anyways. So yeah, and
you do a scrounge before we head out.
Okay. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what are you looking for?
You know, food, ammo.
Oh, I mean, we already scrounged the food off of the.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna scrounge the area, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, because maybe the dead guys have some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for scrounging, yeah, you for each success roll, you get to roll on that D100 table. Unless you're specifically going to look for, like for scrounging, I think is to look for kit and gear and interesting things, but foraging is when you look for food, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
I'm foraging.
Yeah, so you're going to forage? Okay.
Yeah, forage.
So that's still, yeah, so you're looking for edible plants and drinkable water. But so you can't really drive or travel while you're doing this. You gotta, at least in the rules as written, it's you take a shift and you essentially scour the landscape for food and water. Several characters can do it at the same time. If you want to make separate rolls, you can forage in the same hex. So, but if it's also, it can just be you, Carl, if you want to.
Yeah, I was just thinking like because we took the night, right? So I was thinking I would do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Those two shifts at some point.
Okay. So yeah, then you just make a survivor roll modified by the terrain type. And it is summer, so there's no modifier for the season. And
yeah, I'd like to help out. I'd like to help him out with that roll.
Okay, so you get a +1 then.
Are there any downsides beside the shift? Spending the shift?
I don't think so.
Okay, then what do I need to boost him?
Just help. That gives him a +1.
Oh, okay. So I'll say Izzy will help.
So you can amp up your dice by step up twice. Carl, you can step up your dice twice, but also let's just check the terrain real quick. Terrain type. So for foraging, and in the terrain we're in is essentially fields. So for I thought they would have that there, but I don't see it. Terrain type. Well, we'll just go ahead and roll with those modifiers. So you get +2.
Okay, so that I had a C, so it brings that up to an A on survival.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's another modifier just in case. You already just rolled already, didn't you?
Yeah, he rolled.
Although you got a success, but you might get another because I found the terrain types for foraging.
Oh, okay.
But so it's essentially there's I think it ends up being a moot point since we're not in the woods and you're not necessarily in the open terrain, so it cancels each other out. So you got one success, which for foraging means that for every success, you find a number of rations of wild food equal to the number of successes you rolled.
What?
So you got one ration, which seems pretty meager, doesn't it?
One of food and one of water, or just one of food?
Just one of food.
We should have been hunting, to be honest. We could have probably gotten some better rations.
I think
It's
you
possible.
need more people that need to do that instead of relying on one.
Yeah, granted, hunting with AKs isn't especially common.
Okay,
True,
I'm
but,
gonna throw
add
that
more
one ration
people?
into the party inventory.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Can you say that again, Carl? You added one ration to the party.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna
are
start
you-
making camp,
Okay. Go for it.
getting the refugees and getting stuff up for cooking and things like that. I guess it looks like it's a survival.
And
I thought it was the
Yeah,
morning.
that's also it's. Well, we're just gonna I think Ernest just wants to try and do the roll and see what the effect, because there's a roll for survival roll for making camp.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm questioning is why do you want to make camp even though we were heading to town?
I think we're just going backwards in time a little bit to
Oh,
make
so
that
saying
roll.
we're back at night. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine. We can go. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were taking that shift to do things. So
I think it's just
failed.
because everyone's like, we're supposed to be moving forward, and then we go back and keep going back. It's like, holy shit.
no, that's fine.
We're
Move forward.
the time flux. The nuclear bombs did that.
Okay, so you arrive in Piatrikov. Piatrikov looks like it's suffered pretty poorly for being in the war. A lot of the buildings burned, at least along the outskirts as you head south through the corners of the parts of the town. And then let's also eventually show you the let's see here. There is there's a handout in the folder there called the prison, and you can see, I don't know if you can see that prison exterior picture.
Yeah, I can see it.
This is the prison as you approach it. You can see there's guard towers. There's about 6 guard towers on the outer towers, and they look to be armed. And you see some Polish military vehicle parked near the front gate. This sort of I've added a picture, which is sort of closer up picture.
So, does Gerard have any idea what this vehicle is like?
It's another UAZ, but it looks like Polish army. Now, there does appear to be sort of a real community here from what you tell. It looks like there's surrounding fields are better tended than, looks like they've definitely been even potentially irrigated and looked after. You see people working out in these fields. You see they're pretty well tended. The prison itself looks a little run down, but otherwise intact. The guard towers are topped with machine gun emplacements. There's a big a front gate. Currently, it's open, but it's you see, tiers of razor wire. There's also a giant crucifix. Looks like it's been welded together by I-beams. It's perched above that front gate. And although there doesn't seem to be anyone hanging from it, which is good, but there are a pair of handcuffs hanging from each extended side of the cross.
Suspicious.
Yeah. So you're arriving sort of mid-morning, and
Do we need to have a plan before we drive up with a machine gun?
Probably should
probably
just
that's a
town center and just talk to the locals, Ernst. We probably do not want to go straight to the prison, especially because we won't have our weapons if we go in there. And
Yeah,
it would
that's
be a good idea to also figure out everyone else around here and get their general gist, because as you can see here, they're trying to recover from the war.
So yeah, let's have a discussion, or you guys want to have a discussion amongst yourselves about what to do next.
Well, the refugees are just gonna probably go in the prison, right? I need to get in there. I'd say we leave a group of us outside of the compound to
Yeah,
like
Izzy will stay out
recon,
or
and
stay
then
with
send a
our
group
stuff.
inside.
So
Sorry.
maybe okay. So who are we gonna leave outside?
Looks like Izzy has volunteered.
Okay, since Izzy's there, Gerard is gonna be there. He trusts Izzy. She's pretty much she's one of the few people here that he can trust.
Okay. So did you say Jared then is going to choose to stay outside as well?
Yep, he's gonna be mounting the Dishka just in case.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, yes, about the UAZ. I was thinking we get that for supplies. Gang, what do you guys think?
Which one, the gun-mounted one or the unarmed?
Either.
maybe
One
we
of
should
them's got a
leave.
bit of a couple of holes in them, and it's probably going to be really bad during the winter.
Yeah,
Wait,
second
wait,
hand.
you're saying that it has a couple of holes? Don't worry about it, man. We have.
I don't know who.
Well, we
Are
could
you
I'm
talking-
pretty
approach.
sure we repaired it pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did repair at least the suspension part and patched up some holes.
I mean, he got
Yeah,
like
But
4
Rambo,
successes.
yeah. Rambo, are you talking about trading in the UAZ for supplies? Is that what you said?
Yeah, basically. We get some supplies, all of this, see what we can get. Yeah.
Yeah, we could
Yeah, that's a
approach.
good option.
We could approach with the new UAZ that doesn't have the gun on it, and offer it, for barter. Right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, basically, because we need food, water, because we're not going to survive if we have to rely on Carl B, the only one to forage.
Come on.
I mean, unless you get like real hot and it's like 4 hits,
I found some berries,
there's
man.
still 5 of us.
I found some berries.
You can make the
Are we
berries
going
into, you
into
can make
the
berries
prison?
into.
We'll see. I was thinking of just heading into the market and just seeing if we can find someone that will buy it.
So a market in
Okay.
the city, not the prison.
The prison is on the outskirts of the city, right?
That's right. And the city looks mostly abandoned and in ruins.
So basically, God, this is like a village then. Basically, the village is there then.
Yeah, no, you don't have really any information about there being a market, although it makes sense that they might barter with people on the outside.
We do hear that
and-
the fact is they sell alcohol, so
Right. Okay. So it sounds like it's going to be Ramba and Ernst. Are you going in along with Carl Papa?
Yeah, I'll leave the weapons away. I'll keep my uniform on, but I'll get rid of the weapons. Leave them.
Okay. And is Ramba and Carl? Are you guys both going to leave your weapons behind too, with Izzy and Gerard?
I'm gonna just be along the lines of letting them know is I do not want to lose this thing. I love this little. I love my AK. It's been with me through so much.
So, what kind of AK is it, by the way?
74.
It's got a GL, does it not?
Yep. And I have a star flare for it.
Yeah.
All right. Nice little thing.
Yes, and I also have a small arm toolkit. There's lots of stuff for that.
A what?
Small arms toolkit.
Oh.
Basically, I can do
Ooh.
maintenance.
Good.
Do we want to maybe bring some of the AKMs we have to trade? I mean, I think we got a bunch of them, don't we?
Yeah. We got like 7.
They don't want weapons in. I think it would be a foul pas to bring weapons first. We could talk about it and see if they will take it. Because they do have cards here. but
Yeah.
perhaps you just need to do it after the initial negotiation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they're Polish military, so I'm assuming they're using AKMs.
Actually,
N16, whatever they got from the dead.
Actually, something I was just thinking of. I mean, it's totally Catsman's call, but if if it would make you feel confident if Izzy would sling the AK-74 over her back, just so as like if you want it, you got to come through me sort of thing. Your call. Not going to use it. I have my own gun, but
You should take care of it. You're gonna babysit it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something that for once Izzy can relate to because she loves her gun, and she's like, well, I understand you like yours, so.
Yeah, where it works. Okay, so go ahead, Carl. I think you had a question too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I turned to Itzia and I'm like, hey, hand me your binoculars. I just want to like scope out the the perimeter of the compound.
Sure. Yeah, I just give it to him, and as I said in Russian, sure.
And I say thank you in Russian back. Donk. Oh, that's German. Never mind.
He's a Nazi.
In German.
Like the 1930s Stalinist film where the German spy got caught because he couldn't recognize Stalin as a kid in a photo.
Okay, so you're examining you're going to do a recon roll on the prison,
Yeah.
Carl, with the binocs? Okay, cool.
Yeah. What do those add? Like +2? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. So, as you scan the prison binocs, you see that there's you see that the surrounding fields look like potato fields. It looks like civilians. They've got sort of a mixture of regular civilian clothes. Some of them are wearing prison jumpsuits that are, sort of that bright color, but they're like open at down to the waist, and they got a t-shirt underneath. They're looking pretty casual. They're wearing big hats to stay out of that whatever sun might show. At the front gate, there's that UAZ, that Polish Army UAZ. There's 3 guards in it, but they look extremely casual. In fact, one of them appears to be drinking. On the guard towers, you see that the guard towers are manned by, looks like Polish soldiers. You can see one, at least, in one of the towers. And he's smoking and like just leaning against the wall. And then beyond at this prison itself, you see some signs of campfires or smoke rising from within the compound. You see activity through the windows from the central area. People moving around inside, so it's definitely occupied. And then there's that great big cross up above the sally port, the front entrance. So your impression is essentially looks like there's Polish regular forces helping to protect this place. Whatever deal they might have with the people inside or this commune, you don't know, but they don't seem particularly well motivated, these soldiers, or not very disciplined either.
Could Gerard spot them just out of curiosity?
Yeah, we said you saw at least a Polish army vehicle up near the front gate, but that's about all you saw.
Okay, just wanted to check because he might berate them for not taking.
Okay, any other questions, Margarito?
Is it whoever has the binoculars? I asked it. Is it consistent like unit, or is it a hodgepodge? Like, is this a full unit that's protecting this, or is it a hodgepodge of?
You can't really tell. It looks like they could be one consistent unit, but it looks like regular soldiers, but he's only seen about maybe 5 or 6 of them from where he's at.
Okay, so we don't know if it's just a Polish army refugees like Gerard and I, or a whole unit that's settled in.
That's right.
And I'm content to let the Polish guys take the lead since it's Polish army. They could probably work us in a little easier than I could.
Yeah, it's
Don't
possible.
worry, I have a way with words.
Gerard is still in the UAZ with Izzy, so
That's right. So Ernest, right? You're Polish as well, right?
I am. I'll help.
Yeah. I also speak fluent Polish now too, so it's not going to be like that bad.
But are you you're in a Russian uniform, right?
I can just
Yes.
wear the undershirt, and if it's going to be fine. I don't think they're going to like shoot at us.
No.
Another thing you notice in the former parking lot out front, this now looks like it's been converted into pens for animals. Looks like chicken wire enclosures set up. But looks like goats, chickens, things that you even see a zebra. So yeah, it's a hodgepodge.
The fucking zoo.
So you guys go ahead and approach, or decide to go up to the front. Okay.
We'll make sure the refugees are there, and then once we get up there, we'll get the refugees out, the old ones out. I'll probably ask for some of the guards to come over and help get these old people out.
Okay, sounds good. So
That way, they'll get them disarmed, letting them know we're not here to like start trouble.
Right. Okay. So I switched your map. You guys can see this is the prison in general, and yeah, this whole front parking lot area is now essentially filled up with pens for animals. There's still space around, but to walk through and stuff. But there's a lot of space taken up with animals and things like that. Now the front gate is open, and there's a right at this point here, there's a Polish UAZ army jeep, and inside inside is one of them, and standing around outside are two Polish regular soldiers, and they just see you guys coming up in your jeep, and one of the guys standing outside just kind of walks forward towards you, and he just holds up his hand kind of casually. He's got his rifle slung over his back, and yet no one's pointing their weapons at you either.
All right.
Although you notice though, in the guards towers to the north and south of this west-facing wall, they have perked up their attention as you guys come closer to the prison. So you're being observed, at least.
Yeah. This isn't a power window. So, I guess I'm going to not bother getting the window down. I'll just exit the vehicle and introduce myself. Is the Katzman here? I got some people that were looking to come over here. Can you help me get these refugees out?
Yeah, I mean, there's just me. Can they not walk?
It never hurt.
This is Izya, is it? This is this guy seems kind of drunk, and he says, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of busy, but feel free, go through the gate and see if they can help.
Okay. I'll also let the other refugees on foot know to come up. All of this is I'll point to Ernst to just have that jeep get slowly in.
Okay. But first, before you drive, he says wait, and he just kind of walks around your jeep, looking in the windows and stuff. And he looks like he might be looking for weapons or anything like that. And then he just kind of sees there's no weapons because you guys don't have any out, right?
Yeah, we're we're taking the one. We were taking the one we just repaired to sell, right? Or are we taking the other UAZ?
No, Izzy
No, the
and
one we just
Gerard are
repaired.
the other one. It's the one you fixed up that's being sold.
Alrighty,
This is-
we were gonna have to get the Dishka out.
Yeah,
think
we
they did,
put that on the other one already.
Yeah, we put the dish
took
on the
the-
other one.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So-
what did you find in there? Is that like a T60 or some shit like that?
Yeah, you drive. He waves you through. You guys drive through into under the Sally Port and into the first courtyard, and you do see like there's a small group of people in here, maybe 12 or so, and a few of them are dressed in those orange jumpsuits, and there's also a couple of Polish soldiers. But over there in the corner, there's a couple of more UAZs, but there's also a T-64 tank parked in the corner. Its turret is turned to the side, and the rear engine compartments are open. And looks like there's a couple of people scampering around inside there looks like they're working on it. But otherwise, yeah, there's just a little congregation of people, and there's a lot of religious iconography, like posted up posters or signs or hand-drawn crosses around the place. So there does,
Jesus.
yeah. The Lord God watches over you. And it's almost all of the stuff is in Polish, but there is also Russian writings. And there's also 10 Commandment signs posted everywhere too. But there's obviously a front entrance. There's another Polish guard just sitting on a chair against the wall. But there's a big open door, and someone has written "Welcome, welcome to the Lord's protection" above the main entrance door. And there you see someone welcoming people at the front door, like handshakings and hand on the shoulder, and then guiding them into the booking room.
So is there
Yeah.
somebody that looks in charge?
Yeah, there does. You see a person near the front entrance who looks like he's got a big cross around his neck, and he looks to you as you come in, and he just holds his arms out wide, as sort of as a gesture, and he sort of just gestures you forward, and he gestures some other people forward. So it's like this seems to be the welcoming person.
Is there a Polish officer or?
You see yes, sorry. You see a Polish, looks probably a lieutenant, who's just inside the doorway to the booking room. So do you want to go talk to that guy?
Yeah, I guess I was waiting. Izzy, are you going to go to talk to the, or Zia, are you going to go talk to the guy with his
Priest?
arms open?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
the priest.
Priest.
And then,
Even that's your religion, not mine.
yeah, not very religious, but I could go if you'd like. Otherwise, I was going to go talk with the officer, the German or the Polish officer.
Goodness, you and Gerard. What is it with you Germans and Karl?
Yeah,
Gerard never said anything about Germans.
yeah, Ernest, I just kind of nudge you in the back and like point out the Polish lieutenant and like, there's your guy. And I get out
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go over to the religious guy and try to talk to him in Russian.
Yeah, and then I'll make my way to the lieutenant.
Yes, we'll go talk with the lieutenant, Ernst. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Carl. So Carl, you walk over to the religious guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him, is he Rasputin?
And he just smiles and he says, "No, Rasputin is he's our leader, the chosen one. Yeah, my name is Kuchich, and I welcome you, Kuchich. And I welcome you. What is your name?" He asks.
I make up a name.
Gotcha.
I say my name's Piotr.
Okay, Piotr.
Piotr.
Well, welcome, Piotr. So, are you here to join the flock?
We're here to trade. And check it out. We're escorting these refugees from the Badlands. And if you guys had anything to trade, we have some stuff to trade.
Well, we do some trade for sure, and we're happy to conduct that business here. So let us know a list of the things you have to trade, and we can discuss. We have some food, alcohol to trade for vehicles. We also have some distilled water to trade, and there's potential for clothing, items like that. We can do repairs on clothing. We have a long list. So, what do you have to trade, and maybe prepare a list, and we can discuss.
And then I'm trying to be sly, but I don't think I've had enough coffee yet.
I mean, Carl, is we can also barter services.
Yeah.
Izia has worked on Soviet tanks and all of this, and the T-64 is a Soviet tank design.
Right. So I'm as you guys are talking to the lieutenant or whatever, I just nod over to them and I mention that you guys are badass mechanics, and that would be an initial offer. I'm just trying to get us in the door. It doesn't seem like he's going to let us in the door, so I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Medical too, right? There's we can provide medical assistance and
yeah.
Okay.
So I let him know our human capital first, and then that's
yeah.
it.
Okay. Well, he definitely seems interested. We would love to have you as members of our flock. Why just trade? This is a safe place. Why don't you consider coming to join us here? I mean, you could bring your so-called human capital in and help strengthen our community. We could always use people of resources, intelligence, and motivation within these walls.
I'm guessing Gerard is within earshot of this, right?
No, I think you guys are. Yeah, you guys are about a kilometer away.
Whoa.
Yeah, or 500 meters at least, because you guys sort of split up and sent the one UAZ in, I think. And so let's zip over to Izia and Ernst. So you approach this Polish lieutenant.
Samash! What are you doing?
He kind of shrugs, but this guy seems like his attitude's a little more chipper than the first Polish guy you met. He smiles at you and he greets you, and he looks over your uniform and stuff. Are you wearing? Did you say you took off your Soviet
I
uniform?
took off the jacket. You got basically the undershirt, which is like black and white stripes.
Right. Okay. And Ernst, you're in Polish uniform, right?
Yeah. I'll reach my hand out and introduce myself as nice to meet you, Ernst.
Ernst. And you're an NCO or a private in the?
I am an NCO, a sergeant. What do they call it? Yeah, basically sergeant.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
caporal.
So you know that just from your training, you would normally salute an officer too. Do you do that?
Yeah, they looked. Sure. They look pretty lax. I was debating on whether I was going to salute or not, but sure, I'd salute.
Okay. That's totally your choice.
I'm just going to go ahead and shake his hand with the guy, letting him know okay. Completely casual.
Okay, well, he does return the salute pretty casually to you, like Ernst, and he notices immediately to your uniform, and he shakes your hand, offered Izia, and then he also extends his hand to you, Ernst.
I will shake it.
And he says, "Welcome, welcome." Welcome to a little bit of heaven, he says. Where do you guys come from?
Good God. How long of a story do you want? The one that compares against Odysseus, I'll have to say.
he kind of laughs. Says, give me the Coles Note version.
Well, somehow I was over here, Far East, all of this, Siberia, nice little peninsula, all of that. Then I get sent over to here, but before then we got sent to the southern front, Italy, all of this, and then up to Poland.
Wow, you've been around. Well, this might be a good place to make your home finally, world traveler. And Ernst, are you from around here?
Not around here, north, sir.
Hmm.
I'll tell him the story of the. Basically, we're at Calais, right, when we got broken up, basically, and have been on runs since then. Given my unit now that I'm here, do they all look like one unit?
Yeah, it looks like maybe this lieutenant might be in charge of a platoon worth of soldiers, but this guy seems he's not the best example of military discipline either. You can tell, but
Sure.
like his uniform shirt is open, and his he's also got a bit of alcohol on his breath, but not much. I mean, he doesn't seem drunk or anything, but he's not shaved, or at least he needs to step closer to the razor next time. But he's looks pretty laissez-faire. But yeah, you're a medic, hey? Do you have probably have your service branch information like visible on your uniform, or did you take that kind of stuff off?
No, I'm a combat medic. I would have made sure that was available.
We still are on the Team Geneva Convention, guys. You are not hiding the fact you're a medic.
Yeah, no, I'm not hiding. I mean, maybe I'd give them a pause before they shoot me. I will. So, sir, what's the deal here?
Well,
Messiah or something inside, or and your troops guard the place?
Yeah, he says, Messiah might be, I don't know if he's really the Messiah, but let's just say I love this guy. He is something. Look at what he's done here. Like, he gestures around. Like, we've got food, we've got water, we've got fuel for our vehicles, we got a secure place. The word of God is strong in him, and through him, all of our lives are getting better. This guy looks like he's obviously you get the sense pretty quick he's bought into whatever the leader is preaching. You see he's also got he openly and proudly displays a cross around his neck, and he seems unabashedly cheerleader for the program inside. He says, I know. He says, you might think zealots or a cult or something, but
I mean, for goodness sakes, my friend, there seems to be a place where normalcy is coming. There's like actual farming happening again.
And he goes,
That's going to be a miracle worker.
Well, you get it, hey? Like, look at this place. Like, we are fed, we have shelter, we're living together in some peace, and it's a little piece of heaven here. So you can't go back to the old ways, though, or there's definitely some discipline, and God's judgment can be harsh, And he kind of looks a little serious there, but you follow the commandments, and you can live a good life here,
The 10 Commandments, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those, right? He says.
Well, there's no additions. No additions or amendums or.
No, nothing. Nothing.
Kind about coveting his neighbor's ox. You don't have ox, right?
Say that again. I missed part of that.
Katzna just mentioned the fact is Ertz is just worried he might covet your neighbor's ox. You don't have any oxes, right?
There's no oxes to covet. No, we've got cows.
I'm worried they have updated them. Just making sure I understand. Are you, sir, taking recruits?
Recruits? Oh yeah, we could always take some more recruits. Happy to take you aboard. You're looking to join the flock, I assume, or are you talking about our unit?
Well, your unit.
Oh, sure. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're part of the flock, but
Sure.
I haven't heard from my upper command in some time. But anyways, yeah, we're welcome. Sorry, there was a question there. I missed it.
He just asked upper command.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my superior, I haven't heard from in a couple months.
Was there like a radio tower or anything we could see when we come in?
You didn't see one actually. No.
Okay, so they don't have. I mean, basically, it doesn't look like they have like a radio. I mean, I'm assuming at one point they would have had phone systems and things like that, but all that's gone. But they don't have a radio tower or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah, you don't see a functioning radio tower, no. Or I guess it'd be hard to tell from the outside whether a radio tower was functioning or not. But you don't see a radio tower.
So, sir, if we join the flock, are we allowed to come and go?
Well, it's we try to maintain a sense of safety and security for the flock inside. So that's why no weapons allowed inside. And if you're going to be a part of my unit, we stay on the outside and on the towers.
Sure.
If you want to join the flock, you're welcome fully, 100% with open arms. But weapons and the old ways stay outside.
And what are the old ways?
The old ways is what helped lead us to this state of affairs in the world. Violence, depravity, sexual impropriety,
rock music,
greed, rock music, greed, Cabbage Patch Dolls, everything.
Transformers.
Don't forget about, of course, don't forget about the mixing of cotton and wool.
Yeah, the evils of society that helped lead to its downfall. That rampant sort of, I hate to say, capitalist in some ways, just excesses. We lead a simpler life inside here. We tend to the earth. Redemption comes from return to the earth. We lead a simple life.
Out of character, they're basically Amish, but with guns.
I'm going to be like, so what happens if you get sick? Surely modern medicine is one of those things that are the benefit of the old ways.
Well, I mean, science, the science of medicine is not to be overlooked. We have a doctor here who's helped many, even our leader Rasputin, to return from ailments, and we bring in those who are injured and wounded, and some of your refugees here looks like they could use some help. So we don't sneer at technological advancement. We are just talking about those morals and the behaviors of the old ways that lead to depravity and illness in society. Doesn't mean we can't be doctors.
Did he answer my question yet?
What was your question again? Sorry.
If we join, if you go in and join the flock, are you allowed to leave? Or if we join the troops, are we allowed to leave?
Oh, absolutely. This isn't a prison.
Okay.
This is a home.
Good. Well, some cults are a little. Some groups are a little more fervent about membership.
And he reaches out and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "But no, this is the place. You come in, you'll be encouraged to stay. Well, at first, of course, we want to make sure you're a contributing member, and you'll be assigned a sort of a minder to stay with you. So it's more of a guide. He'll show you around and stuff. but
Sure.
we'll definitely be. We want to make sure you're a friend. Hey, and he gives your shoulder a shake. You're a friend, right?
Definitely sounds like a welcoming community, and something that we've been looking for. I'm assuming they're starting to. Um, I guess I would take my leave and go back to the. Are the refugees getting processed in, or are they waiting for us to?
I think
back in?
Carl is like waving at us, like really panicking.
Sorry, what was that?
I think Carl is waving at us to come talk to him.
Yeah, so we'll go back to you, Carl. So you were speaking with Kucic.
Kucic.
Yeah, and did you have other questions for him?
Not really. I'm just, basically trying to suss it out. And my
Yeah.
question for you though was the same. Are the refugees sort of filing in, or are they waiting for us to?
Yeah, no, the refugees look like they're coming by, they're walking in, they seem like they've found the place of their dreams in some ways, or at least they're a place to stop moving, a place to settle down, or at least for the short term. And they seem pretty relieved. They're helping each other and helping themselves. And when they go by you, they also pat you on the back, And Kuchich sees this, and he can tell you guys have been protectors of or sort of helpful to these people, and he understands it that looks good in his eyes, anyways. And he says to you, "You've obviously done a good deed here, bringing these sheep in for help."
I'm not gonna tell them we fed them dogs, dude. And we fed them dogs. So I nod over to the other. If they looking at me, I just nod to the other guys, and I'm like, "Well, let's check it out." My name's Piotr.
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 Piotr. Okay, so Kucic says, "Well, you are most welcome if you are ready to come in and join. We can talk more. Meet me come on into the booking area, and we can talk more when you're ready." And then he goes to help the refugees and talk to the refugees. So you three are kind of left alone for a moment here.
So, are they willing to trade?
It sounds like it. They want a list of what we have, and they'll come back to us with what they have. And I need to get inside to meet my contact.
What's stopping you from going inside?
Nothing. I just want, just checking in with you guys.
Yes, I already have an idea of what we have. We're selling the UAZ unless we really want to get double the gasoline and then double the maintenance, and then you make poor old Catherine do everything for that.
Are we just selling the UAZ?
Well, we got two. We have one. We have two. We only need one. Unless you really want to start picking up people and expanding our group.
And we just want food and alcohol from these guys?
We don't really need it. We don't really need the second one. We can already carry around 150 units of cargo in the regular one.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking we just need food, water, alcohol. We should be good on ammunition.
We could. I say maybe trade a couple of the AKs for some 7.62 ammo, if possible.
Well, that's so. Do you guys want to? So you have an option here. You can drive back and go meet with Gerard and Izzy and sort of think about your next move, and then let these guys at the gate know you'll be back with trade goods or whatever, or you can wave Izzy and Gerard forward and do that at the prison.
I would suggest this. One of us stays. We'll try to get the thing going. I'll talk with the person, let them know. Carl, you'll probably want to go around looking. Ernst, can you just get this initial list? I'll let him know what we'll trade in from our supplies. I think we have an extra AKM we can use. to sell and all that.
Okay, cool. And you
Do
guys
you want me to
interested
go?
take it?
Do
Sorry,
you want
I
me
was
to
just
go
gonna
back? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Ernst. Finish your thought there.
So you want me to go back and get the stuff, is what you said, or get the list? Or...
Yeah, I think if you want to go get the stuff, that'd be fine. If anything, let's just get an initial trade offering, all that, and then we do the actual trade.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking.
Okay, sounds good. Guys, I need to take a 10-minute break, so we'll be back in 10 minutes. So, what did you guys think? You gonna send one or all of you in, or just use it as a trading post, and just let Carl do his business inside, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do some trading all of this while Carl goes in. I'll have Ernst with me because it's like I don't want to like have him be sent out to get the supplies and we haven't even made a deal yet. That's just gonna be a lot of waste of time.
Okay.
And plus,
Okay.
bringing in both Gerard and Izzy is also going to be like, they're also going to be coming in with the guns, and this is a no-gun zone. So,
Yeah, one of them has a Dishka, and one of them has Dishka. The other has two rocket or missile launchers.
Yeah.
And they're by far the two most violent of the group.
Yeah.
we're not going to use the V word. We'll just say poorly socialized.
Yeah, that sums up Izzy.
Okay.
It's going to be like dogs about how they're always like nasty to people. It's because they're poorly socialized. That's it.
I don't know if Ernest is back. Oh, there, he just got back.
Yeah, I was listening. I guess I wouldn't mind going in. There's the doctor in there too, right?
Yeah.
Someone that could that might be able to, I guess, at least maybe we could trade some medical supplies because we don't really have a lot, right? I don't even have a doctor's kit. I just have personal med supplies because I don't provide one off the bat.
Well, we can at least get alcohol to clean the wounds. We can get some anti-disinfectant, antiseptic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or antibiotics or pain pills or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can also get bandages, all of that, field dressing.
Yeah, we'll be buddies.
Okay, sounds good. So you go back to the vehicles and get a list of goods, or do you? I know you're worried about bringing Izzy and Gerard up.
I think is we don't have to go in. I'm like, yeah, I can trust my own mind on this. I know what we got in the back.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put the Donald Duck mask on the list. We'll just see if that becomes the flashpoint.
Okay.
Don't forget to offer the Twilight 2000 book.
What are we supposed to play?
I'm just gonna say is like Donald Duck is a lot bigger in Europe. Did it Carl Blank's comics?
Yeah. Okay, so you present your list of things you can trade to Kuchich for the welcoming committee.
Yeah, we'll go inside. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they've got some things they can trade to. They can repair clothing, like they mentioned. They definitely have some food, wild food to trade. They've got some regular food too, like potatoes. They've got a lot of potatoes, and water. They don't sell like drinking alcohol. They do sell fuel alcohol for vehicles. They can happily trade that if you're interested in doing some barter for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have. They try to hoard their medical supplies, so they're looking to, trade for medical supplies if you have any. But because they have become a bit of a beacon for people that need medical help, they need all the medical supplies they can get. And one of your members had said they are a trained medic. They could be useful within as part of the flock too. We could introduce you to the doctor.
I think
Now,
he's
are there
also
other?
interested in meeting with the doctor, Father Kuchik.
Yes. Then we can arrange for that for sure. Now,
Yes, I would.
do you?
Would
Was there? Go ahead. Sorry.
yes, I would be more than happy to provide my expertise and meet with the doctor.
Okay. Great. We will arrange this. Now, was there any specific things you were looking to obtain?
Food, water, and fuel.
Sure.
Ethanol fuel would be good. Perhaps a good clean change of clothes too, if that's possible. I don't think they have weapons to sell.
No, we don't have any. I mean, you might be able to trade with the Polish soldiers for ammunition, but at least for the flock here, we don't barter or trade in ammunition or weapons.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I understand it. And I can also offer services. Like I noticed the T-64 being worked up outside. I used to work on those. I can get that going and help with that too. So I can offer my services as also a part of the trade as well.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, it's been a sticky problem apparently, according to the soldiers that have been trying to fix it.
The autoloader doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, that's usually the problem, but this is a mechanical issue with the engine.
Okay, good, because I'm not sticking my hand in that.
That's right. The autoloader is also known as the hand mangler. Okay.
Pretty much. There's a certain reputation with it that Izzy knows, is he's like, yeah, I'm not getting near that thing. Leave stay with the engine. It really depends. We have a UAZ to also trade. We were able to get this repaired, the one we brought in. It could be of use to the Polish soldiers outside guarding, or it could be scavenged for parts too.
Okay, well, this is great. I mean, there seems to be a lot of great potential bartering here. The human services repair work, plus the
medical.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, Ernst here is also a medic, so he can offer help with the doctor and all this and assist.
Yeah,
exactly.
Experienced combat medic.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So there seems to be a really good, almost straight up trade here. So with your medical assistance, we'll get the doctor to assess your abilities first. But as far as helping with the vehicle, plus what were you also willing to trade for this stuff? You had
a UAZ, Urago.
Right. The UAZ plus. You weren't going to give any weapons though, or anything, because they don't.
Well, we do have some weapons for trading. It really depends. Odds are that's probably going to be more with the Polish garrison, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now they will happily. It looks like you're going to get probably 3 days of rations for each of you for food, plus 3 days of water each too for these items. Plus the clothes. You're looking for a change of clothes, which are civilian clothes, but they're in good shape, in good condition, because you were looking for food, water, clothing, right? And that they have for sure. And so you get all of that extra change of clothes each, plus the 3 days of food and 3 days of 3 rations of water.
For everybody in the party, or just the people who are there?
No, for each of your group, for everyone.
Okay, so plus 3 to each.
Yeah.
All right, good.
And did someone else have a question there? Ernst, was that you?
I just want to say UAZs are pretty valuable, all things considered.
They are. This one is a bit worse for wear, but they're still going to look over it, and they're also welcome
they also give of course, a free welcome pass to come and stay as new members, to the flock. Stay for some sermons,
I wouldn't put it behind a religious group to try to always recruit you. So
yeah, exactly. So
I'm
you
assuming
walk. Go ahead.
when we're in there, there's food and water.
That's right. Yeah, if you join the flock, of course, there'll always be food and water, and no need to barter for it.
Well,
Yeah,
we are still trying to do a bit of traveling, but yeah, if you want, we can get the. I can offer to help get the tank going, and then I'll work with the mechanic to get the appraisal of the UAZ, so we can go beyond this initial offering.
Okay, sounds good.
And then Carl's gonna act like he's interested in joining up.
Okay. Well, Kuchit's really happy to hear this, and so he takes you through the front gate. And Ernst, were you gonna come as well?
Yes.
He holds out his hands. Oh, this is great news. So, and Itchy, I saw that roll. Are you gonna potentially push that?
Yep, I pushed.
Success. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm getting that. I guess they give a minder who's just watching me instead of actually helping.
Yeah, and you are like just kind of observing them working on the vehicle.
I'll get my hands down there, being like, "Oh no, that's not how it works." Goodness gracious, man! You're thinking of the T-52 models. This one is different.
Yeah, they obviously the guys working there are mechanics, but they're not familiar with the Russian tank engine.
Yeah, believe me, I'm only familiar with this because I know this specific factory. It's right down here in the serial. So yeah, we don't even standardize this shit.
Okay, well, you immediately prove your worth there, and are busy with the mechanics. So Carl and Ernst, you guys go with Kuchich, and he basically they sort of give you the rundown on the holy mandate, and you hear the story about how Rasputin received a vision from God and brought redemption to the prison. There was a night of miracles they reference where he was shot at by the former prison guard, captain of the prison guard, and the bullets did no harm at all to Rasputin. And he walked through a hail of gunfire, and he just held out his hand, and the prison guard gave him his rifle and knelt at Rasputin's feet and immediately professed his love for God and all the stuff. There's an instant conversion. And that's the night of miracles where the other guards' weapons no longer functioned in the presence of Rasputin, who disarmed all the prison guards and allowed them to leave or stay as they chose. And this happened about 3 months ago. And ever since then, he's helped create this sort of heaven. There's former guards working alongside prisoners, and it's a place of peace within the walls. And
this is the guy that met us. I forget his name. This is the guy that met us.
Yeah, Kuchich. Yeah,
Kuchich. Yes. Which were you, Kuchich?
Oh, I was a prisoner. I was a former sinner myself, and now I've been redeemed. I've been redeemed by our Lord God and Rasputin. And now I live a life of peace. And I look back on my old life, not with shame, but it's in the past. And now I look forward to creating this new world where we can all live in peace and harmony and redeem ourselves through the work of the earth.
Beautiful.
So they make it clear. Kuchik makes it clear. You welcome in. I will be your minder for a while, and then I will introduce you to another who will take you under their wing and show you around. But do you have any other questions? Because no weapons are allowed inside, and so it's safe for all. The doors no longer lock in our prison cells. The observation camera area was destroyed by Rasputin, so You have no need to fear being watched over by anyone other than our Lord. And he goes on to sort of describe that the prison is now considered a home and not a prison. So he takes you and he through to the booking and into the yard, and which is essentially in this area. And you see that it's actually does feel kind of different once you're through the gates. Like there's people tending the place. It's clean. There's men and women. You notice there haven't been any children. You haven't seen any children around. Mostly sort of like mid-20s and older, and they sort of the age range skews to the older, like in the middle ages. Yeah, given about 6 to 7 months, as he says. So, but yeah, there's the compound is fairly well kept after and true to Kuchich's words, you see all the outer doors are open essentially because it's a relatively mild day anyways at this time. And you can see from the pictures of the prison exterior, it's it's not the prettiest building or anything, but most of the windows are still intact. In fact, you only see one broken window. They're really high security glass anyways, but it's a pretty forbidding looking building. But there's even been some attempts to decorate it a little bit, but it's mostly religious imagery.
Do they have power?
There is some power. You see some lights. They have an old boiler system in the basement. Kuchich explains that they've returned to operating functionality. So there's even heat and hot water.
Wow.
Yeah. Now they've taken a lot of materials from the surrounding. There's foraging parties that go out every day, and as Kuchich is walking you into the building, and he's explaining there's lots of roles for you, lots of ways you can help, and he gestures to you, Ernest. I recognize you have some medical abilities, so I will introduce you to our doctor today. But for yourself, Carl, do you find yourself leaning more towards working in the fields, being someone who forages for wood and raw materials during the day, or do you tend animals? Are you good with working with tools? Because we have a small machine shop for making sure our equipment is up and running.
Wondering where they get their fuel to run the generator or whatever.
Oh well, we have a huge still in the basement, which our brothers Borkowski look after, and they managed to generate a windfall of ethanol every month that we use to trade and barter with, and it is truly a wonderful windfall that we have.
And I lie and tell them I'm a master distiller and would like to talk to those guys.
Oh, this is great news. Do you want to? Yeah, he doesn't have any reason necessarily to question you. He mostly finds it as a confirmation of his faith that you have fallen into his hands. The brothers Borkowski will be grateful to hear about this. And so, just touching base with Izzy and Gerard. So you guys, in the meantime, we'll say that maybe you're a little bit closer, like closer to the prison, but there was no real communication with the people who went inside. Or did you guys take a moment to make sure that Izzy and Gerard know what's going on with the plan?
I would probably still have radio, so unless they were like really out of range, I probably would just announce to them we're going in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Gerard.
Okay, so I'm guessing Gerard heard the "we're going in" part, right?
Is it me or did you just cut out on the
No, I
audio?
heard
Did
him.
anyone else? Okay, I guess my headset is acting up a bit again. Can you repeat yourself, Gerard? Sorry about that.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, Gerard. What he said. um, I don't know what to say really.
Okay,
I
that's fine. I mean,
but,
so is he? You and Gerard are in the vehicle, and you hear on the radio that they're gonna be hanging out at the prison for a little bit longer. So what's your plan?
Just wait at the car.
Okay. Okay, and then so Ramba, you're helping with the tank. That'll take like a shift of work probably to really get that thing fixed. You estimate? Do you want to stay and work on that thing with these guys for a shift?
Yeah, sure. I came in, do that. I got to get the job done. So I still have my vehicle tools. Another role.
Okay. So
there was something I wanted to say to Izzy in character.
okay.
American. What do you think the plan is right here?
I didn't. What was the last word you said?
American. What do you think the plan is here?
Izzy just shrugs.
Yeah, yeah. Izzy, she's like path of least resistance.
Well, I mean, she can't shoot somebody or blow something up, so she's pretty much just like mellowed out for once.
Yeah, I think Gerard and her are probably gonna have a chat about, I don't know, RPGs, explosives.
Yeah.
Kill any fun people?
What?
You'd be like, you killed anyone cool?
Did you kill anyone cool?
I destroyed a tank with a single rocket in session 2, I believe.
Yeah, the tank was already knocked out, but it was nice. It was a good shot. right in the middle.
At least it didn't miss.
Yeah, that's true.
We should have gone back for that tank, you know? That would have been... We could have just fixed it up and then...
Tanks are too expensive with fuel, and they need a lot of maintenance, and the ammo isn't very common.
This should be good for a couple bangs. But yeah, they're a beast to maintain and keep running. Okay, so
if you give the players a helicopter, they're going to instantly regret
it. Yeah. So Kucic takes Carl and Ernst into the main building, and you get introduced to a few other brothers and sisters. He just essentially waves at people, and he hasn't really decided to stop and talk or introduce you to someone specifically, but there comes a point where there's a bit of a hubbub at the gate, and you see some people arrive, and they're bringing a wounded person. Looks like they have on a litter, and they start running towards the hospital area. And Dr. Kucic says, "Oh, this might be a good opportunity to introduce you to the doctor." So he guides you over to where they have set up a little hospital, which is here in this building. And he brings you along, Carl, as well. So unless you're going to try and slip away or anything like that, but he gestures for you to come along as well.
Yeah, I just I'm biding my time until I can work out skis.
Okay. So you do you get to the hospital, and there are a lot of people sort of that look like they're some brothers that they have bandages or look semi-injured, like with simple injuries, sort of triaged in the outer area of this building. But in the inside, you see that they've brought this wounded kid who's like a teenager into the sort of like instant treatment. And Kucic takes you in there as well, and just so you can observe. And you see the doctor is a woman, and she's obviously knows what she's doing. She's a surgeon or something, and she's sort of giving quiet but assertive commands to her assistants in the room, but none of them look like they're nurses or trained medics or anything like that. And so she's helping them. She's telling them how to get the kid onto the bed or onto the operating table. This kid has obviously suffered some kind of explosive wound from either a mine or some unexploded ordnance that was lying around or something, and then they had picked up. So lost a hand and part of its leg. So they're busy trying to save the life of this kid who looks like he's lost a lot of blood.
I turned to Kuchik. May I help? I can
Yes.
provide assistance to your doctor.
So he puts a hand on your shoulder and he steps forward to the door to this place and he shares some words with the doctor who you find out just for their conversation is Russian. She speaks some Polish, but you can tell her accent is Russian. And so she turns and looks at you, and just sort of gives you an assessment that's pretty quick. And do you say anything or make any gestures at all?
I have seen this before. I've been a combat medic for a while. I could help get him out of shock to get him settled, so you may perform the surgery.
Okay, so she immediately just gestures for you, quick, come in. She doesn't say anything. She obviously made a snap decision just to get you to help. And
right.
and so she points to the sink, and the soap. Yeah.
Go wash up and everything.
And you see that there is actually quite a bit of surgical supplies here, from the little things to gloves and soap to some surgical tools. There does appear to be another room nearby with locked doors and stuff, which you see medicines beyond and stuff like that. So she's busy setting up intravenous. So they've got plasma and things like that. So it's fairly well supplied.
Yeah.
Much so. And so she accepts your assistance. She's mostly obviously guiding the procedures, but you're able to add your role or your help to her skills. And you want to go ahead and make a medical roll. You just don't want any mishaps.
Sure. Is this considered helping incapacitate character to get back up? Or not?
No, this is more like this person has suffered critical wounds, so it's
Okay.
more than broken. Yeah.
All right, so then I have a B and a B in medical aid, but I don't get my combat medic. And
Yeah, I'll give you a +1 just also because of so you can raise one of your dice up to a 12 because of the environment with the medical supplies and everything.
Okay. I will try again. 2
Nice.
successes.
And you didn't make any mishaps, so you at least, and the 2 successes were great. So she's impressed. She's impressed with your help, and afterwards you've stabilized this youth, and so she's washing her hands and throwing her gloves out, and she comes over and introduces herself to you finally formally, and her name is Dr. Let me just double check her name here. Dr. Gurin, Ala Gurin. So she appreciates your help, and she's curious if you're here to stay.
Well, thank you, Dr. Gurin. I hope I added value into this. I'm not sure yet. I'm feeling the place out. What are your thoughts on this area, this whole compound, I guess, or flock, and Rasputin?
Well, she says, why don't you come with me? And she takes out. She goes up on the. She takes a stairway up, and there's a little balcony up here in the front corner of this building, and there's an umbrella and a few deck chairs. There's another sort of so-called nurse up there too, having a smoke break. But she offers you a bottle of water and sits down in a lawn chair on the roof of this patio and gestures for you to sit down too. And she just basically says, "Oh, you know, it's a place where I can practice. I was a doctor before the war, but the motherland called." She basically says that she tells you it's not perfect, this place, but after what I've been through in the war, and my unit being overrun, I wound up here. You know, it's been a long journey, but I've seen so much death and suffering. And honestly, I don't know if you've met Rasputin yet. Have you met Rasputin?
No, I have only heard of his Day of Miracles from, I forgot the guy's name again, Kuchik.
Yeah, and she kind of does that Russian like shrug, you know, where her head comes forward and she makes kind of like a gesture with her face, and she says, "Well, I'll let you make your own assessment, but he provides me with supplies and a means to do good, you know, like
Yes,
for-
you're well supplied for this time.
yeah. So for now, that's good. What about you? What are your goals here?"
Just trying to get through this. There's what's left of my unit and some friends I've made along the way. We're just trying to survive, I think, now. But
Well,
I'm not sure that I have a long-term goal besides survival.
Well, you should think you're skilled at what you do. I could use some help. You should think of staying. It could be worse. You can do good. There's food, shelter, and no one's attacking us.
Yeah, we had met some Russian troops about a day out, I think. They seemed to feel that this place was going to be a target soon. I don't know if you've heard people talk about that.
Well, I've heard some rumors about how it's too good to be true, but well, the Poles are here. You're one of them, right? What do you think? Can they protect us?
Maybe if maybe I guess it depends. The Russian army is as shattered as ours, so I don't know the force that's allied against you. But maybe if it's a small force, raiders. If it's an army well supplied, or one of the columns, armor column or something like that, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, well, she takes a big drag on her cigarette. Well, anyways, I suppose if that happens, I will just keep moving east. I had a life back there. And she looks wistfully off into the distance, and there's a story there you don't know. She's probably got family or something. But
Sure.
If this ends, I guess I will just keep going back home someday.
For now,
But
I
in
think
the
it's
mean-
enough to just do good.
Yeah. And so she takes a big swig of her water, and she says, "So if you stay, I will use you for sure."
I will be here for a while at least.
All right. She cheers you with a plastic water bottle. Cheers. So Carl, you probably also came up on the roof with them just because your Kuchich is sort of hovering around and making sure you guys sort of stay together.
Oh, okay. I guess I could beg my leave and we could go with Kuchik now as he gives us a tour
Sure.
or something. Sure.
Yeah. So he takes you through the place. You see that he gestures towards there's a basement entrance over here near the former control rooms, which leads down to the stills. He says, "That's where the stills are, Carl." And and he says he can take you back there later, and you can talk with the brothers who run the place. But he gives you sort of a quick tour of the place as well. And I'll make another picture available in the prison, and you can see basically what the hallways look like inside. They're pretty drab and featureless, and they have these great big doors. But as you go through the halls, all these doors are open now, and like either jammed open with something stuck under them, because they're trying, the prisoners or the former prisoners and the new brothers and sisters of the flock have trying to change the place into a brighter area, and they typically don't hang out in the cells. As Kucic introduced you to the day rooms, on the first floor of the prison, there are these rooms that used to be like common areas and gathering areas for prisoners. This is now where most people sleep, and there's some privacy tarps lined up to section off some areas, but there's not much privacy in the prison, as Kucic says, because generally God sees all anyways, and there's no need really for privacy. Now, the central area used to be the mess hall here, and there's a kitchen that sometimes they still make up some common meals. But this is also where Rasputin does his because it's a big area. It's a big area for lots of people to listen, be able to hear him. That's where he does his sermons, and he usually does a daily sermon. And there's one in the evening that you should attend and see. There's a big common area too where you see brothers and sisters playing chess or reading, or and most people, everyone greets you with a smile and a hello. And Kucic, waves and gestures and greets people along the way. There's 4 stories of 4 floors, and each of these wings is off to the northeast and the southeast, where most of the cells were, from the floor 2nd to 4th. And they're all open. You can sleep in them. Some of them are closed, and Kucic doesn't reference why or tell you why. And he doesn't take you down every hallway or anything. He just takes you mainly to the parts of the 2nd floor so you can see. And then he gestures out to the back, and there's chicken coops along here, and they're tended by this great big guy wearing what looks like monastic robes. He's out there tending the chicken coops, and then there's people working in the wheat fields. Go ahead.
Is everyone in monastic robes?
No, just this one guy. Most everyone wears some form of. A lot of people wear some form of the jumper, the overall,
Sure.
the prison, just because there's so much of it available. But they don't. No one looks like a prisoner so much. There probably were and are lots of former prisoners amongst the brothers, but you estimate there's maybe over 400 people living here.
Kucic, is he one of the Order of Rasputin? Seems to be more of a monk than the rest.
Oh, yeah, that's the Chicken Man, and he kind of makes a gesture that he doesn't maybe think much of the Chicken Man, but he doesn't verbalize it. But he says he looks after the chickens, and he has his own way. He's taken a vow of silence, but he's not. We don't require, obviously, anyone to be silent, but that's him. As long as he takes care of the chickens, he's happy.
Did he used to be a prisoner?
Yeah, he was once a prisoner.
Okay.
And he has also found redemption in the eyes of the Lord.
Interesting.
So so that's a tour, the general tour. Do you have any questions or anything else you wanted to see?
What's in the control room? I mean, is it like the guard area? There's a controls in front.
This is where the guards' central control was. It's off limits to the brothers and sisters. Rasputin and his minders can be found there. But Rasputin's current home is in the home of the former. What's the name of the guy who runs the
Warden?
prison? The warden. Yeah, this is where Rasputin lives, in the former warden's home. But the control's off limits. We don't go in there anymore, and we try to just live in the rest of the prison, because it reminds us of the old ways. And although there are some necessary evils we still need, like for instance, we have some specially trained brothers and sisters that help just ensure that Rasputin is safe and he's looked after, and that if anyone has crossed a line and needs some disciplining, they will take care of that. And this is where they generally reside. So he didn't take you into the control area.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I asked. So we didn't go in there. That's seemed okay. Got it.
Yeah. And so he offers. So Carl, you want to go see this still?
Oh, yes, please. So interested in it.
I wouldn't mind seeing it also. Is that
Yeah,
what generates your power down there too?
Yeah, there's the boiler room down there as well. So it's a little bit of both. I don't quite understand it all, but I'll take you down and introduce you to the brothers. So he takes you downstairs, and there's quite a big complex beneath the prison. There's laundry machines and stuff like that. Those great big, huge industrial laundry machines. But a lot of this stuff has been cleared out and made room for this huge still that is it's like the giant size still, and all the smells and sounds and sights of that place is familiar. There's dim bulbs being powered down here, so there's light. There's you hear the sound of a generator running somewhere. There's also this great big boiler room that is supplying heat and hot water to the building, because the heat system is radiating heat from water. So it's a fairly old prison that has those water heated system, and so that's why they were able to go. They bring in a lot of wood and burn wood and coal or whatever they can find to generate the heat for the boiler system. But the still itself, they bring in all kinds of organic material. Every day they have foragers that go out and bring in organic material to feed this giant still.
So what do they use to power the still? They like burn wood for the fire there too?
Yeah, they do. So it's a smoky and stinky and just a grimy kind of place. But Kuchich takes you down, and he gets the attention of this guy, this skinny guy working on some pipes. And he comes over and he's wiping his hands in some rags. And Kuchich introduces you to Mikolai Borkowski. Karl Papa, Mikolai. Mikolai is the wizard who runs this still. And he just silently finishes wiping his hands, and he holds his hands out to shake your hand.
Shake his hand, and I say, "It's glorious. What you've done here?"
He kind of looks a little surprised and kind of shrugs, and he looks around and says, "Well, glorious might be a strong word, but it gets the job done."
Do you guys just make ethanol for vehicles, or do you make the other stuff?
He looks nervously at Kuchich a little bit. You just see his eyes dart to Kuchich. No, we don't make any. Do you mean like booze, moonshine? Oh, no, we just make the ethanol for to power vehicles and any equipment we need here on the for the farm.
Are there like big tanks of it down here? Like
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of it down here.
Yeah, they've got one of those big stills, and they can. I think in the gear, it had a list for like a giant still. I'm just gonna quickly find that thing because it can generate quite a bit. Fuels and stills, yeah. So the industrial still essentially, it can produce 500 liters of alcohol per shift.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it's-
Problem is, if you want to produce it that much, you need the 1-to-1 ratio for organic material to ethanol, and you can't carry it around unlike the other.
Yeah, it doesn't. This one is not mobile, and they're not always running it, but it's better to always run it if you can. It's running at half capacity because they can't always get a full supply of organic material, but they're getting better and better all the time, bringing in the organic material.
And I let him know that his name is carried far and wide in the region that I've heard of their operation here.
You let him know that his name's gone far and wide.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
yeah, and I casually mentioned Vartage, just kind of as
okay.
aside,
Okay.
just to see if his eyes perk up.
Yeah, he does. He locks eyes with you, but he looks uncomfortable that you're talking about this in front of Kucic, and he says, "Well, I don't think I know of Vartage. Did you say?" And he says, and he says, and do you mean like, are you talking about me, or do you mean about the ethanol that we provide that goes far and wide?
And then I walk it back a little bit and just like talk about the ethanol. Like, yeah, the ethanol, yeah.
He's like, yeah, well, I guess. I mean, I guess if people know, that's good because we can trade with them. But I suppose we don't want to get out too far. Hey, Kucic? And Kucic is like, well, maybe it's necessary that we do some trade, but it is a valuable asset, and we wouldn't want anything to happen to it.
I moved the conversation. I'm like, at some point it'd be, I'm a master distiller myself, and I like mentioned some BS or something, and just like something he'd know about. Sorry, this is kind of lazy, but and then, but then I'm like, at some point it'd be great to have a meal with you and discuss the intricacies of the still you have here.
Yeah. Hey, sure, this is good. Hey, we could always use an extra hand. Do you want to try and do a manipulation roll to just convince them of your authenticity?
Yeah. Trying to find my character sheet. Oh, there it is.
I worked at Sam Adams.
I worked at Sam Adams. I worked at Smirnoff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do manipulation.
Okay, nice. So he's pretty convinced.
Yeah, I start talking about the different like temperatures of ethanol and like the tailings and all that stuff.
All right, nice. Okay, well he nods along. Yeah, well, I work on mostly the mechanical side of this. My brother knows more about the ingredients and the mashing down process and all that stuff. So, yeah, we can meet together. So, Kucic then says, "Well, let's go back and we'll finish the tour off." And he brings you back out towards booking, and he asks if you want to join the flock. And will you be coming to join us? We could really use your help, along with your friend working on the vehicles.
I think
if you want, you can take the night, and you can come back tomorrow. But if you're ready, we'll accept you with open arms.
I feel like we should all meet together real quick.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If that's possible.
So So come on back.
Out of game, but they know there's others in our group that aren't here, right?
I think let's just say No, I guess they don't. They don't know that.
They don't. Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was anything. Yeah.
Okay.
So need to discuss it, but it is an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
Kuchik, we had met some Russian soldiers a day or so ago that had mentioned that your compound might be a target for a local Russian army. Is there someone we could talk to about that?
Well, yeah. If you have
I would hate
some,
to see this disturbed.
well, I have faith that God will look out for us. But if what you say is true, I should put you in touch with our sort of head of security here. So, certainly. How about you come back for the sermon this evening, which is in like just about 4 hours or so, and then I'll introduce you to Ms. Belyaev,
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
and then you can tell her what you've told me, and I think we're in good hands with her and the Poles, but they will know better what to do with that information than I. But I have faith that we will come through this all in better shape.
Do we have
Okay, so
do we have
ahead.
walkie-talkies? Are we able to talk to the guys in the Jeep?
No, I remember Rubinsky took the radios back that he lent you back in Sherdash, but I think Ramba has one, and there is a radio in the Jeep.
Right, and I left my radio in the backpack in the Jeep too.
Yeah.
I just want to, like, this is out of character. I want to figure out a way to just kind of let them know what's going on, because I'm gonna stick around until I achieve my goal. So.
Well, are we
Okay.
not going to go back out there now and come back for the? I mean, we
Hey,
could meet as a
sermon?
group.
Yeah, I
and then
mean,
come
Yeah.
back in for the sermon.
it's up to everyone else. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. So yeah, that's your options: is Ramba and Ernst and Carl. You guys, Kuchich has given you the option to return for the evening sermon and then make up your mind whether you want to stay. And you're welcome to leave now and meet with your friends outside.
Oh, no. We're getting that Jeep of praise.
Oh yeah.
We
Okay.
still got a deal to do. So Catsuit is going to be like letting Kuchik know that. He's covered in grease and everything. And then he's going to walk over, talk to the mechanics to come over in Polish. Come on.
Mhm.
You guys can head back with the group and then figure out the next steps, okay?
All right.
Okay, so they assess the UAZ, and it's definitely roadworthy. It's been through a few things. Its reliability is a bit low, but
And you guys have a
but it's
blacksmith?
say again.
I'm talking to you guys. You guys have a blacksmith or something?
We do have we have. There's a vehicle garage that has some vehicle tools and things that
No, I'm not
we've
talking.
wheeled a lot of.
What I'm saying is that this can be used as an impromptu tractor. If you don't
Ah,
use it for foraging, there's going to probably be a lot more people, so there's going to be need for more arable farmland.
yeah, that's a good call. So you sell it well, and they're looking at bartering for it, so they agree to trade more just for the UAZ alone. So if you're looking for more food and water, they're gonna do another. They could give you guys another double amount of that for the UAZ.
Can I also see if I can get some like spare vehicle parts? Like look and see what I can get for our car.
For your UAZ?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
get like a little rubber patch for the tires, all of this, chains for when it's winter.
Yeah. So yeah, they could trade you 3 vehicle spare parts.
Okay, and how much gasoline?
Well, they could fill your tanks up completely. Now, if you have got extra jerry cans, they could probably give you probably 3 more full jerry cans worth if you've got jerry cans. They've got some plastic ones, but they're a little bit harder to come
It's gonna
by.
eat plastic.
Say again?
Oh, the gasoline's gonna eat the plastic. Jeez.
No, you know those
Don't we have an
plastic.
extra jerry can in the UAZ we scavenged? And then
We
once
do
we
have, yeah. You've got 2 jerry cans total. One comes standard with each UAZ.
So I'll let them know is get the jerry cans empty, bring that in when you guys come in the evening. I'll be talking with them, getting things going. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
so getting doubling the ration. So instead of 3, it's 6, which is good. We got spare vehicle parts, which is great. And then I'm gonna start talking with the I'll start talking with them to see who in the Polish side of the guards exchanges weapons and all that.
When you say doubling the rations from 3 to 6, do you mean like the food and water?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they remind you again, but you're welcome to join our flock, and then you won't have to care for food or rations again. And then, so all 5 of you are back together eventually at some point. You can discuss what your next steps are.
As I said, Katzman is going to probably stay to just get that going, so you guys can go ahead and talk. Because I think Katzman's also going to be like, yeah, technically, probably going to feel more better if I get to go out and help people, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. You mean rather than stay at the prison, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll stay at the prison to just like get more things going and make sure our trade is good. So you guys have food.
Yeah, if we go
Okay.
back, if we go back to the RUAZ and let them know what's going on. There's this kind of tricky thing where we're sort of trading, but also some of us are saying, like, I need to say that I'm joining the cult to like get inside. So, I'm letting that be known. You guys don't need to do that if you don't want to.
Do we? Sorry, do we know what your mission is? Did you tell us? I don't remember. Like, do we know that?
I don't know if you know. The people that were with us, like, I think I might have told it's the I think, did I? I didn't write that down.
I think so. I think you were essentially, you told them that you were going to find a intelligence contact that had important information on I'm not sure exactly what you said, but that they know that you're on your way to try and find some kind of intelligence contact in the prison.
Yeah. That's pretty much why we came down here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't even think I know. I don't even think I know what why I'm doing this. I'm just doing it because I was told to, pretty much, and I'll do anything for my country.
That kind of orders.
Yeah, so you guys have, I guess, a kind of decision to make about how long you'll stay and what if you're going to support Carl in his mission or what. There's a sermon tonight you could attend if you wanted to. Otherwise, you can either camp outside in Piotrków or go inside and with the warm heat, the shelter, etc.
No, I'll just sleep in the UAZ.
I'll go in. I mean, I can help people that are in there. I can. So I think I would go in. I guess, Carl, if you want help, I would help you. But you'd have to kind of give me an idea of what you're looking for.
Yeah, I just need to talk to the Borkowski brothers away from the leaders because they have some information that I need.
So maybe I can, if Kuchik is our,
I
forgot what he called him, our handler or monitor, maybe I can help keep him occupied while you're doing this.
Seems like
Yeah.
a plan.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So then, so Catsman, you're gonna stay out, and
Yeah, you
Carl-
mentioned there was a synagogue in the town. Why are we asking about that too?
yeah. Well, Piotr Kuf has a history. In World War II, there was a sad historical incident where the Nazis, when they went through Poland, had massacred Jews in Piotr Kuf. This was one of the other. There was another famous ghetto, one of the first Jewish ghettos in Piotr Kuf. Other than everyone knows about the Warsaw Ghetto. But anyways, there's a sad history there. But there has, since World War II, there has been a synagogue that was rebuilt, and a small returning amount of there's a small Jewish community in Piotr. At least it was before this current war.
Yeah, basically, Catsman's just going to try to say about anything that's happened with it, and then if there's anything like some sort of memorial thing, like to just make sure it's not like destroyed or something.
Okay, that's cool. And will you go on your own, or will you seek some company?
Talk with one of the Polish guys. I'm sure I made a friend with a mechanic. I'll be like, hey, can we go in and UAZ check this out?
Yeah, he says, sure, sure, okay. Piotr Kuf is kind of a ghost town, but so we have to be careful. But still, it's not like it's an open war zone or anything. So he'll go with you. Him and
Well,
his
I'm
buddy.
gonna be. Anything outside of here is not safe, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's this. I feel really safe at the prison. He says to you, but less safe anywhere else.
Cool. Yeah. I'll get going. All of this. I'm sure he's going to be armed, so I'm not going to worry about that.
Okay, and you're right. He is, and he also brings his buddy too, who's kind of a dull-looking guy, but is also armed. And then, so you're heading off into Piotr Kuf for the second shift of the day, and I'm just gonna check that real quick. So yeah, you guys spent the morning shift, or the day shift at the prison, and it's maybe halfway through the day, or starting into the evening shift. And Piotr Kuf is pretty quiet. Itzia Katzman's going to go into the town with his couple of Polish friends. Carl and Ernst, you guys are heading back into the prison to attend the sermon. And Gerard and Izia, you guys are still essentially just camped outside, or are you going to essentially work on getting the transfer of goods back and forth with food and equipment and things like that?
I
Izia.
suppose we'll work on the transfer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a designated safe zone where they say you can park it there.
Well, I mean, how are they supposed to
Yeah.
react with two heavily armed people that they don't recognize driving up in a Jeep that has a fucking machine gun on it?
Yeah, I'm sure Carl is going to go ahead, let them know you're fine, and this is our main transport and all of that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will look at you guys a little cautiously, but they're expecting you, and they're not they don't react violently to your arrival. But the Polish guards do admire some of your kit as they come up. It's like, oh, it's nice, because your truck is pretty loaded with goods. Sorry, go ahead, Gerard.
Did you notice how they're pretty nonchalant about everything?
Yeah, you do notice they don't look too. They have the guards on the towers, but you can see the ember from the cigarette in the fading light from where you are. Like there's not much attempt at security concealment or observation by this Polish unit.
Gerard just lectures them a bit and says, is that how you treat security around these parts? Do you want the Russian armored columns to show up here?
Oh, there's no Russian armor left, one of them says to you. Anyways, if the Russian armor showed up, what are we gonna do? God will look over us. We got Rasputin here. He says we're gonna be fine.
We can't expect God to do all the work for us.
Well, no, of course he'll point us the way. We'll do the shooting. The Russians come here. The guy grips his AK. I'll fill him full of lead. And one of them walks off. Another Polish guy, he kind of leans against your truck. He's helping you guys put stuff, food and water into your UAZ and stuff. And he says, this is what he just kind of starts a conversation with you, Gerard, about where are you from, like which part of Poland?
Well, I actually haven't determined that about John. Just
That's
for a
fine.
moment. Just give me a moment. I'll just look up at the town real quick.
Born abroad.
He was from the town of Elk. Yes, Elk.
Yeah, I know it. He says, I'm from Whoosh myself, but you are fighting against the Russians, or you? He kind of talks quiet, right? He's checking your allegiances, basically. Or are you like pact forces, NATO forces? What's your story?
My only allegiance is that to the great Polish state.
Oh well, I guess you probably then heard of Silesia, hey? Are you going there?
Silesia, huh? Tell me about it. What's going on there?
Well, I've heard that there's a new Polish state in the south of Poland. Silesia. I thought you'd be going there, no? Have you not heard of it?
I have not actually. I've been somewhat busy with some Russian armor that your friend there dismissed.
Ah. Yeah, well, you might look into it. I heard that they've got an army. They've got they're all Poles. They're fighting to create a new homeland.
And he said, okay. He goes. He leans over to Izzy and says, "Hey, American, you hear this?"
Yeah, you heard them. They're speaking in Polish though, so Izzy doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Just nod, Izzy. Just nod.
Yeah, she just sort of looks back and forth and then like smiles and slowly nods.
American, there's a new Polish state.
Again, she just sort of smiles and nods.
This is at this point he's on just on the edge of bursting into the national anthem.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this guard notices your enthusiasm. He's like, I said, well, I haven't been there or anything, but this is what I hear. So it could be good though. I was thinking of going myself. So maybe if this attack happens like you say here at the prison, if the Soviets come, I'm gonna head south.
Well, I'll certainly be heading there myself sometime soon.
Okay.
So,
Great.
So let me just make can you just give me a handout so I can make a note of that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll send you
Or
a message.
I'll just put it on his sheet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so you find out that the apparently capital of this new southern state is called check here.
I don't think there's a section for notes actually.
Yeah, there is.
Where?
So when you're in your character sheet, you go to bio and info, you click edit, boom.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the capital is Racibush, which is down in the southern part of Poland.
In Silesia, was it?
Yeah.
Silesia. Let me just see if I spelled that right. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, anyways, that's interesting information for the Polish nationals there. So back in the prison, or maybe we'll do a quick detour to Katzman. So the Poles take you into old Piotrków, and you do find the old synagogue, which is miraculously still intact. There is, if it looks abandoned though from the outside, and there are old monuments and things to, not so much monuments, but like plaques commemorating the history of the place.
I think that's just going to take a while to just take all of us in. If there's like some sort of books and such, he's probably going to put it in the backpack just because it's like, this is the most important thing. I just need to make sure this makes it. Because, yeah, don't know if this didn't collapse yet.
Yeah, that's cool. And actually, an old Jewish man comes out of the back of the synagogue while you're in there, and he just accuses you of being a looter at one point. Who is this?
I'm just gonna yell at him in Hebrew along the lines of like, "What are you accusing of being a looter here?"
He changes really quickly. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, apology, and he comes up and he has a good greeting with you and
you really think I'm gonna be like one of those boys out there looking to steal something?
you apologize. The times.
Yeah, the times makes everyone crazy. Oh.
What's a good boy like you doing here?
Well, to be honest, I'm very far away from home, trying to find a way back, but decided to stop by here because, apparently I'm stuck in Poland for now.
Yes, well, aren't we all? Seems like everywhere is stuck. But, go with God, be well, and, mind the Sabbath. It's tomorrow.
That depends. I mean, I kind of more of the reform kind, not the Orthodox, jokingly.
Okay, so you have a good meeting. He offers actually some time to sit down and talk and share some wine and but that's up to you if you want to stick out there. The guards
do this. This is like talking to like the zone and just like trying to figure out what's going on here. For those who give me a good description of everything that's happening around here. It's like,
yeah, he takes care of, there's a few of them that live in the town still, and he's in rough shape a little bit. It looks like he is at least had something to eat today, but yeah, they're just decided to stay and look after the synagogue, but they're kind of mainly keep a low profile. But yeah, that's his life. He's happy to do it. He's not a rabbi, but he's got the calling to look after this. He's essentially taking care of the synagogue.
Yeah, it was just to talk about like in the book of Jeremiah, the saping remnants will still remain, all of that.
Yeah, okay.
Like, all that's happened, we're gonna survive this. I tell him about our side of the story. There's also a doctor I know, so if in case there's like any sort of wounded, I'd be happy to help. If he's gotten about like worried about food, I'll give him like 2 units of my rations and water.
And he's super grateful about that, because he can share this with his fellows nearby. Yeah, such a good boy. And he said, did you say you're staying at the prison?
Gosh, yeah. It's really strange about this, but what's up with it?
He obviously he doesn't think much of the place. It's a bunch of, I forget the word, like the Jewish religious word for someone who's not of the same religion. I forget. But anyway, yeah, yeah. So yeah, but he also thinks it's a bit worse because he thinks that the former leader was this Rasputin. He says, I think he's Jewish too. So it makes me laugh.
Oh, yes. Well, that explains how they got everything going well then. Takes one of us to get it going. He's going to get a, farm without us. Can't do anything.
So, and he says that I just don't think it's going to end well. That kind of thing. It's a cult. It's just a cult, he says. But they have provided some measure of security, so whatever. There's not much of that around, so I guess for some people it's a place to go and be safe.
I have a feeling that the people over there are just wanting this whole thing to end. And it's just like they can't stop fighting, for goodness sakes. I got this one guy who's like really adamant about the fact that he wants to kill all Russians. And to be honest, I come from the Russia and all of this. So it's kind of very strange, my friend.
Yeah, so he commiserates with you and shares some meager rations with you, and basically he wishes you well. He also offers you a place to stay here if you want to stay in the synagogue.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely take you up on that offer if it comes to that. I'm trying to head east. You have anyone else that's east as well? Perhaps I can send him a message.
Oh yeah, he will. He'll compile some letters, and he has got some family in Radom, which is to directly east, and so he asks you to wait for a bit, and he's just going to gather up a little care package, and if you're heading east, he gives it to you, Radom to the east.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I have my backpacks. I'll put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. And he wishes you well, and you're always welcome to come back.
Thanks. Definitely, it's good to actually be with my old people for once in a while.
And he tells you that there is more. We are here, but we have some I know friends in other parts of the state. So if you're in need, come find me.
No. This, yeah, so I get his name and everything. So yeah.
Great. Okay, so Carl and Ernst, you guys are in the sermon hall, or was there something else you wanted to do before you go back?
That's good to me.
No, I don't think so. Just a sermon hall.
Okay, so you meet the former what do you call it, the cafeteria, basically, where countless prison movies have been filmed. All those gray tables, the long chow line.
At least
but
it's not the shower.
Yeah. Don't drop the soap, the old cliche. So, but that's the old ways. This is the flock, the way of gods. You meet some other brothers and sisters, and everyone gets packed into this former cafeteria, and it's been decorated a little bit with the imagery of the religion and this sort of orthodox Catholic sort of religion that's been developed here. And you see a few people. One of them is probably this head of security person who comes out, Believ. She's a woman who's lithe and kind of almost cat-like. She looks Russian. And she sort of comes out first, and she wears a thin smile. She doesn't look very friendly. But she's armed. She's got one of those AK-74, those submachine gun versions.
AKS.
The AK,
Yeah,
AK-74U.
yeah. And her eyes go everywhere, like she's obviously either a bodyguard or one of the if not the head of security for the brothers and sisters. And then Rasputin himself comes out. So this guy is an imposing figure. He's like well over 6 feet and built like a brick building. He's just super thick and strong. Like his sleeves are rolled up to his elbows, and his forearms look like he's been like, I don't know, like corralling horses for a life or something. His forearm muscles are super gigantic, and he's covered in tattoos, like from the chin down. You can see that his collar is up, so you can't see his body, but his forearms are tattooed with the story of his life in prison, right? There's probably a whole story if you could read Russian tattoos all over him. But he definitely has a commanding presence. When he comes in, everyone hushes. And his sermon, you guys both understand Polish and Russian, right? Or Polish definitely for Ernst, right?
Yeah,
But,
Polish, not Russian, though.
Right. He does most of his sermon in Polish. And he speaks to he sprinkles in Russian words, but he definitely, it's simple and direct, and it's sincere. Like you realize he is sincere. He really seems like a believer, and like when you hear someone when you stand in a room and you hear someone who has the gift of the presence and language, he really sways the room, and you even find yourselves thinking, yeah, this guy, there's something about this guy that's impressive. A couple times you notice he makes sure he makes eye contact with everyone in the room. He even looks directly at each of you in turn, and you feel like he's trying to have an intimate conversation with each and every one in the room. But his message is essentially about redemption and your past sins being forgiven, and your opportunity to start your life anew. And here amongst these walls, we've already redeemed the very walls themselves to be a home. It used to be a prison, torture and injury and inhumanity with no dignity. And now that's all been redeemed. And just like the prison, everyone who lives in it is seeking to redeem themselves, turn themselves inside out, and throw away that past and become a better person working for God. And so at the end of his sermon, there's great cheering, and it's not like a silent sermon either. Everyone cheers and jumps up and shouts in adulation. Go ahead.
I mean, do I see the doctor here and the other brothers that were downstairs? The chicken man, are all those people in this room?
Yeah, you see the chicken man. You see the doctor's in the back corner. She's obviously less enthusiastic, but she's there. Okay. You meet the brothers. You see the brothers there too. Yeah, so you see there's a lot of people crammed in here. Probably not everybody, but the crowd goes out the hall in the back. It's pretty jammed in.
And is it more security than just that one woman?
Yeah, there's two other guys up on the stage too that they both have pistols. You can tell they're carrying, but they're not obviously carrying, they're like tucked in their back or whatever.
But not Polish troops.
Not Polish troops, no. Okay. This is all the brothers and sisters in here. Yeah. Although you do see one of the Polish soldiers, but he's in civilian gear, like he's not wearing his uniform, and he's inside.
Yeah,
it's so like it seems like he's wearing his. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So it seems like the army protects out and doesn't protect Rasputin, is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm getting.
That's what you feel like.
Yeah. Okay.
So it looks like Rasputin obviously could take care of himself.
Yeah.
Looks like he's lived a life in prison, and he's hugely strong and imposing physically. And he's pretty old. Like he looks like he's in his 50s, maybe older, because he's pretty worn out looking physically in the face. He's got lots of scars and he's got gray hair, but he doesn't seem to lack any energy. And then, which you think is Belayev, the woman, she stays still the most time throughout the whole sermon, but just her eyes move, you know. So she's really watching everyone like a hawk. So then after the sermon, there's some water and some small assortment of like bits of food, bread that you can partake in. And Kuchich comes up to you guys afterwards. Go ahead, sorry.
Is Kuchich with us when we're listening to the sermon?
Yeah, he took you in and he sat next to you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so sermon ends. Rasputin is up near the front, taking sort of petitions from people who want to talk to him, get a laying on of hands, that kind of thing. And so you're welcome also to do that. Kuchich offers. Do you want to meet Rasputin?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So he'll take you up, and you see the brothers also, Carl, that are there, and they nod to you. And one of them comes forward and in the presence of Kuchich says, "Oh, we're going to eat after, so we can sit and eat if you want to talk distilling."
That sounds amazing.
So, Ernst, you find your... Oh, go ahead. You had a question?
Carl, maybe you sit with them now while Kuchich takes me up to meet Rasputin. I don't know. You seemed less enthusiastic about it. You're more worried about the still, I would think. Kuchich, is that okay if the brothers watch Carl?
Yeah, he kind of like considers it for a moment. And he says, "Yeah, it should be fine. Have a seat here." And he gestures to the table that's recently opened up, and he takes you up to go meet Rasputin.
Yes. Okay.
Beautiful.
So, Carl, you grab a seat with the brothers, and they break bread with you, and they got some tea, and some bread, and kind of seem interested to hear about what you know about distilling and stuff.
Yeah, so I start talking about how awesome distilling is and blah 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 blah, and then kind of like underneath my breath I mention Vartaj's name again.
Yeah, and so Mikolai, he's like he kind of hunches in a little bit, and he looks around nervously, and he says, "Yeah, I kind of prefer if we don't talk about this in front of Kuchich or anybody, really." We do a little bit of side business, and Vartaj, she buys a different kind of ethanol from us, if you know what I mean. His eyebrows bounce.
Understood. I'm actually looking for somebody that's supposed to be living here, and he told me to talk to you guys.
Yeah, well, we know everybody. Who exactly are you looking for?
A man by the name of Vitovsky.
Vitovsky?
I think it was Vitovsky.
Did
I write that down right?
Oh yeah, that's right. No, you wrote it down. Yeah, that's the guy. I think I know. You mean Casper, maybe?
Casper, yeah, Casper.
Yeah, his last name Wasowski. Yeah, Wasowski. Yeah, there is a guy named that here. He kind of looks around. He sees his brother Jan looks around too, but I don't see him here. But I think he's kind of a loner. He doesn't always come to the sermons. but I think he might live up on the fourth story in one of those cells. He doesn't usually hang out with everybody else, but he seems like a nice enough guy. Why do you want to meet him?
Oh, you know, friends of friends of friends.
Uh-huh.
His brother told
Okay.
me, or make up some story about his family, told me he was here, and I was looking for him.
All right. Well, yeah, I've seen him around. Check the fourth floor and the south wing.
Excellent.
And Ernst, you get to the front of the line, and Kucic introduces. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just gonna watch for how people address him.
Hmm.
You know, the people in front of me. Like I'm not sure how to address a Messiah. So what is everybody calling him? Rasputin, or your Anna? You know, what do they? And I will follow suit, right? I'm just gonna
Yeah.
pay attention to what happens before.
Yeah, they just call each other brother essentially.
Brother,
Some people call him Rasputin, but most people just approach and they don't even say much, or if they do address him, they call him brother.
Okay.
And he addresses them back, brother or sister.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Kucic is with you up to the line, and he introduces you, and he says, "This is Ernst," and Rasputin turns to you, and he holds out both hands to accept your hand, and he's got these giant mittens.
Okay.
I mean, his hands are like his Jack Reacher novelist would say, they're the size of dinner plates.
I will reach out, give him my hand, and say, "Brother,
Yeah.
this is quite the oasis you've created in the Maelstrom. It is impressive."
Yeah. It is not my doing. I'm a vessel for God. And he holds your hands, surprisingly gentle. His hands are quite rough, though. Tattoos across the knuckles and everything, but they encompass your smaller hands completely. And he gently shakes your hands back and forth. And he looks you in the eye. He's got these sort of steel blue eyes, and they're super clear. And he says, I hear you do good work with the doctor. And he looks to Kucic, and Kucic nods. And he looks back to you and says, "This is most welcome." So,
Well, thank
you get
you.
the sense, yeah, you get the sense that he's well informed by everybody.
Is there a way to see if he is, just by talking to him, to understand, like, is he a true believer, or is he you know what I'm trying to say? Like, is he?
Is he a
Do I get
charlatan?
the feeling? Yeah, is he a charlatan, or is he a true believer? Right? Did he take over and create this myth so he had this place, or does he truly believe in what's going on? I don't know if it's I don't know what I would roll for that. Like, I don't want to manipulate him. I just want
Right.
to observe him and see his, mannerisms, I guess. Right?
I think you could, yeah, you want to see what kind of, I mean, you might roll I could say recon, or recon seems
Sure.
odd to me, but I think empathy, maybe a base empathy roll.
Just a straight up empathy? Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be a D10. All right. Ooh, no.
Don't play poker with Ernst.
I'm gonna push it. Can I push
No, I
it?
don't.
Can't push
I don't
it.
think
Yeah.
you can't push it once it's a failure.
No, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but your impression is that he's a holy man, you know.
Got it.
And whether or not he believes it or not, you can't tell.
Got it. Wait. He's okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yes. I was hoping to stay on for a while, maybe to help the good doctor Gurin out. Maybe learn a thing or two from her.
This is welcome news. He says he's got a thick Russian accent, but he's speaking to you in Polish. He says, and you are always welcome here, brother. Stay. And his hands go a little tighter on your hands. And when he says stay, and he shakes your hands a little more energetically, but then he lets go and he holds you by the shoulders, and you feel almost as if he's a father figure, you know. And he's also on a slightly raised platform, so he's way taller than you too, right? and he just holds you strongly by the shoulders, and I hope that you will stay.
Brother, yes. I did receive some information, brother, from outside that it might help if I would talk to your head of security or maybe the head of the Polish troops here. There seems to be some concern about a Russian armor column headed this way.
So he looks to Kuchich, and Kuchich sort of interrupts or steps in, and he puts his hand on Rasputin's wrist and an arm on your back, and he says, "Brother, I will take him to Belyayev. He does have some information that Belyayev would like to hear about." And Rasputin says, "Good, go with Kuchich, and God be with you." And then he turns away from you and goes to the next person in the line.
God be with you, brother. Okay.
So he takes you to Belyayev, and Kuchich, he asks you to just wait here for a second, and he goes and talks to Belyayev. And so Belyayev is watching you the whole time Kuchich is talking in her ear. And so then Belyayev comes over and gestures you to come sit at a side table, and says, and she just doesn't offer her hand or anything, but she takes a seat and gestures for you to sit. And Kuchich sort of stands off to the side, and Belyayev introduces herself. I'm Belyayev, and what is this news you have about the Soviets? Tell me.
Ernest, we were on our way here. We met some Soviet troops. They seemed to understand that there was I believe, an armor column, or at least a Soviet force that is planning to hit your compound. Your amount of fuel has drawn their attention because this place is known far and wide. We came from, I forgot where we came from, Kalis, near Kalis, where we had heard of it. Just a friendly warning. And I thought I should let you know. I don't have any more information than that. But the Polish troops or the Russian troops we ran into were positive that this place was in danger.
Which direction do you know? From which direction?
Do I know? I don't think I know.
I don't think you do. It was more of a general.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have much more than that.
No numbers, no size, equipment.
I do not.
It's not much use. We are always under threat, she says. Come. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I would assume you are always under threat. I just didn't know if you knew you were under the Russian army had taken notice of your of your flock.
Yes, we do know, but don't think this is not appreciated. She says, she softens a little bit. She says, further confirmation that she looks around, there is trouble maybe mounting.
Yes.
She says, do you come, I've heard you come with others. Do they join us? Do they bring capabilities that we could use?
One other has joined. He is a master brewer of sorts. He is talking with your brothers. The others are still reticent about joining. They're still debating on what they want to do. There are skills there, but they're, to put it, a little gun shy of organizations.
Let's see. Well, maybe your master brewer can help find the weak spot of the Russians, and we can get them all drunk before they attack. And so she just tiny little bit of mirth there, more sarcasm than anything, but she looks pretty hardened. But she says, she kind of just says, go with God nonchalantly, not too much effort put into it or fervor. And she gets up and she walks back up onto the platform where Rasputin is.
Okay.
And Kuchich comes over to you and says and thanks you for sharing your information. Did she find it helpful? He asks you.
More of a confirmation of something I think she already knew. I didn't have a lot of detail for her, but she knows trouble was brewing.
Gotcha. Okay, so Carl, you're with the Borowski brothers. Is there anything else you wanted to ask them?
I don't think so. Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think small talk, whatever. I guess yeah. No, I think that's. Oh, I had a question for you though. Would I have seen any sort of information in my past about what's her name, the security head?
Belyaev?
Yeah, back in the day. Would that be something I would have known or no?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm playing it cool until I can sneak to the fourth level.
Okay, sounds good. And so actually, I suppose if you at this point, since Kuchich is off with Ernst, and you're alone with the Borowski brothers, this could be a time when you could sneak off.
So Nikolai, can you show me the way to find my buddy Casper, or can you introduce me, or?
Yeah.
How do I get up there?
Well, let me show you. And so Nikolai says to John, just hang out here and I'll take him. So Nikolai, sneaky. Yeah, he takes you into the main common area, and there's a big set of stairs that go up. There is one elevator between control and the rest of the prison, but it doesn't work anymore. But he takes you up this big giant spiral staircase that goes up and up, and you see there's still other brothers and sisters are spreading out after the sermon, and there's some singing going on somewhere, almost chanting, there's some hymns being sung, but otherwise people are kind of just looks like they're getting ready for turning in and getting to bed and stuff like that. But yeah, he takes you up to the fourth level and the southeast wing, and he takes you down this long hall. All the doors are open. There's one or two that are closed, but they're dark through the little window. But he takes you to near one cell, and you said the story you gave Nikolai was that you knew his family or something. This Casper guy.
Yeah, I was a friend of the family's, and I heard he was down here.
Okay, so Nikolai asks you, do you want me to introduce you?
Yeah, just let him know I'm here. Let him know Piotr is here.
Okay. So yeah, he brings you up to the this cell, and he just kind of raps on this door frame, and he says, "Hey, Casper, you home? Casper?" And then the door is half open, and you see there's a little light on inside. It looks like it's more of a candle burning, but you hear a voice from inside. Yeah, just a second. It's in Polish. And so a face comes to the door, and he looks at Nikolai. He says, Nikolai. And then he looks to you, and he just looks questioning on his face. And Nikolai says, yeah, this is Peter. He says he knows you from before. He just wanted me to bring you up and to say hi. And so Casper, who apparently this is Casper, he looks to Mikolai and he looks back at you, and he's just silent. He's looking at you.
And I guess I would say something in Russian that would be a sort of a check phrase for another U.S. intel agent. I don't know what that would be, a code phrase. The owl flies at midnight or something. I don't know.
Okay,
the vodka is good in the morning. I don't know.
Well, the eagle has taken off.
Yeah.
So he says, Peter. Yeah, hey, come on in. Mikolai, thank you. I haven't seen Peter for forever. So he opens his door wide enough for you to come through. And he says, Mikolai, thanks. We got to catch up. You can head back. So he offers you in, or he brings you in. And he sits you down and he says, so Peter, he says, and he doesn't, he says it in a way that he probably knows that's not your real name. He says, how the fuck did you find me here?
And what the hell is our commanding officer? Rabinsky,
yeah.
So I mentioned Rabinsky's name, and I tell him basically just came down here to find him, bring him back in. Am I trying to bring him back in?
So the news was that there was because maybe we should have gone over this a little closer, but he was potentially defecting with information of or had information about Operation Reset, and he could potentially he's on the run from sort of the NATO side.
So he's running from the NATO to okay. So I don't tell him about Rabinsky.
Yeah. Okay.
I let him know.
That'd be good.
Yeah. So I'm
like also remember Rabinsky was a double agent. When you first met Rabinsky, he still is pretending to be KGB. I mean GRU.
So am I too.
Yeah. So the code word you gave him probably wasn't the NATO thing. It was like something that would make him think you were working for Russian intelligence. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's retcon all that. That's perfect.
Yeah. So
so Russian intelligence, and I'm here to bring you in with your info on Operation Reset.
It's like, oh shit, this is very fast. I wasn't expecting you guys to be here. So he looks kind of surprised. Like I was kind of expecting someone else, but so what is your plan? Do you have a plan, or what do you want exactly me to do?
We were going to take you in.
Yeah, where do we go and when do we go?
And then I tell him some BS about a Russian cantonment that's near where the fuel station was or whatever, that like for the other choice that we had. I said, yeah, we can leave anytime you want, and we'll be going to that base first, just to ease his mind, I guess.
Okay, so you're gonna have to do a manipulation roll, okay. And it'll be opposed.
All right.
Yeah, so it's basically to see how well you can pull the wool over this guy's eyes.
Actually, yeah. Let me say that I'll tell him the truth-ish, like where we're from. We're gonna take him back up north because that's a Soviet army up there, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just say that. Yeah, we've we've been tasked to bring you into the battalion that's up north, and I will do a persuasion with my psyops bonus.
Okay. And so let's just look at some of the options here, or modifiers. Yeah, there's not really a thing there. Negative modifiers. Yeah, you do get one negative modifier because you're essentially asking him to do something dangerous, which is to go to this next step.
Okay, so
But yeah, I'd say that's it.
all right, so it just leaves my manipulation the same.
Okay. So you're gonna push that?
And do I just re-roll, or do I roll one of them?
Yeah.
You re-roll
You
both.
can't re-roll anything that was a 1, but you didn't get any 1s, so
Now you did.
Oh, now he. Oh,
Okay,
take
so so you get the sense that you realize something. He doesn't quite. Something has gone off for him. He looks a little suspicious, maybe. And so he goes over and he sits in his chair in his room, and he says, "I don't know. What was your name again? Piotr?
Piotr.
I got to do a little bit of. I just got to do a little bit of background work before I'm ready to go, just yet. So, why don't you let me get back to you? Staying here with the brothers? Are you staying with us
Yes.
here? Okay.
Duh.
Duh.
All right. Then, yeah, let me get back to you tomorrow at breakfast. We'll be in the hall. I'll come find you.
Sounds good to me. It was a pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah, me too. Take care.
All right.
And so he walks you up towards the door, he holds the door closed like past you for a second, and you realize that he's got a pistol in his hand now, and it's just at his side, but like his right shoulder is away from you. The pistol's in his right hand, and his left arm is next to you, but against the door. And he says to you, "Do you have anything else you want to tell me about your handler, like what his name might be?"
Dun, dun, dun. That's a hard choice there.
Yeah, because now he's basically testing you. He's basically testing you for essentially a safe word that he knows, and he wants to know if you know, right?
Right. Trying to see if I wrote anything down. I don't remember. Because if I out Rubinsky right away, then he'll know Rubinsky.
That's right. And that's the thing with spook work, right? And what you think might help. Like he might already know, for instance, that Rubinsky isn't to be trusted, or Rubinsky might be the guy to trust, but you don't know.
Right. Oh my God.
Welcome to the wilderness of mirrors.
I'll be like,
What you get for bringing someone back in from the cold. You know that.
I'm gonna be like, I thought guns weren't allowed here. Where'd you get that?
He just gives you a slight smile. You also know that it could be two possible names that he is dangling for. So he's either looking, what you think is either the KGB head of KGB in Sherdaj that you know the name of, or Rabinsky, which is the head of the GRU, who you also know is a double agent. So he's probably, your guess is, in your intelligence capacity, it's either Gulashev, the KGB head, or Rabinsky, the double agent, who you know is a double agent, who represents GRU. So it's a tough one.
What's the GRU again?
It's the Soviet military intelligence. That's like the equivalent of the DIA, the Defense Intelligence for the
Oh,
NATO
and
side.
what was the guy's name in the KGB?
Gulashev.
Gulashev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I say the word Gulashev.
Okay, his little smirk goes away, and he opens the door for you. I'll see you at breakfast.
Oh, that could mean anything.
Yeah.
Not if I see you first.
Yeah. Okay, so you find yourself out in the hall, and he closes the door behind you.
Oh man. Guess
So
I
you
walked
also have
down
to
the
remember,
hall.
it's not just your answer, your body language as well.
I skipped down the hall whistling.
Good
No.
body language, yeah.
You should angle your wrist by 65.2 degrees.
Yeah, I just had this vision of you, how you said the name Gulashev too. Gulashev? Like a big question mark. Yeah, not too persuasive. Right?
No, in his monologue, as he's like writing about his war experiences, I should have said Gulashev, but I was like, Gulashev.
Correct answer is Rabinsky.
What was that?
No, and then there's like a little subtitle that says the correct answer was Rabinsky in red.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
so cool.
either way, if it tries to kill us, we do have kamikaze IED, man.
Oh,
Let's not get into that sort of this religious session. We're having a suicide bomber, okay?
So the evening is coming. Mikolai is down in the common area, and he sees you coming back, and he's like, "Hey, how was that for a reunion? That was pretty short."
Yeah. It turns out, we didn't have much to talk about. But he was
Well,
tired. We're gonna have breakfast. Get back together.
Okay. Are
Thanks.
you staying? You're staying here. Do you have a place a room picked out, or a? Are you going to stay in the common areas? Has Kuchich set you up yet?
No, that's a negative. I don't know where I'm gonna stay.
Okay. Oh, I'll take you back down then, I guess, to the Chow Hall. Unless you wanted to do anything else up there, Carl.
I can't think of anything. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ernst, you see most of the parishioners and stuff leave the Chow Hall after they have eaten, and you get some food too offered, and you notice Kuchich is kind of looking around for Carl.
I will ask Kuchich to take me out to meet this chicken man. I am interested in him. Basically, trying to keep Kuchich occupied, right? So
Okay.
eat quickly
Yep.
and say, "Hey, the brothers have my friend. I'm sure they're looking at their still. Let's go out." And I would like to meet this chicken man if possible. Maybe show me around the wheat fields and things.
No, okay, fine. The chicken man, like I said, it'll be a very short conversation. Vow
Well,
of silence and all. So
it's
he
always
takes,
nice to.
he takes you.
I'm basically going to keep him busy, right? Find
Yeah,
things
okay,
for
cool.
him to show me until I see Carl's back.
Right. But you see, you see, you meet the chicken man. He just kind of nods at you. He's another great big guy. He's got a shaved head, and he's wearing these. They're not actually monastic robes, but they look like it. It's like they're dark brown and tied at the waist and with a hood, but they're not actually monastery robes. And he's kind of you can see why he might be the target of some scorn, because he's got chicken poop on him and feathers and stuff. But your impression is he's a very serious person. He doesn't look crazy in his eyes. He seems calm, maybe disturbingly so. And he just gestures to his chickens, and the chickens seem to like hanging around him. He's always got 2 or 3 walking near him. And his pockets, you realize, are filled with chicken feed. But also,
Fine flock you have here, sir. I'm assuming he'll nod.
He does, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so
and Kuchich informs you. Yeah. Kuchich is there.
Yeah, I just want to have a conversation with him. All yes and no, right?
Gotcha. Okay. That's cool. And just delaying for time, basically, right? Is there anything specific you do want to know from the chicken man?
Actually, I wouldn't mind looking. As we're out in the chicken man, I was looking at the map. There's like wheat fields out there, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Where did my map go? Do they have like farm equipment? Like, do I see tractors and?
It's mostly hand-driven stuff. They don't have. There are some tractors out in the potato fields that they use ethanol to run. But
and those are outside the wall, right?
That's right. Yeah. In the wheat fields, they're mostly taking care of them by hand.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so go ahead.
Livestock, chickens, wheat, and potatoes are basically their stable.
That's right.
Okay.
And they've also got goat and some larger on the hoof type animals out in the pens that was the former parking lot. So eventually, Carl comes down with Mikolai, and they meet up with Jan, and Jan reunites you with Kuchich and Carl. And they introduce you to some cells on the second floor. You have your choice. There are some 2-person cells on the second floor on either the northeast or southeast wing, or you can stay in the common room, the day rooms areas, and find yourself a spot. It's more crowded down there.
I'll look to Carl.
Yeah, we should probably post up in one of the cells. It's probably a little more secure.
Okay. Yeah, so he takes you to a room there on the second floor here. This is just above the day rooms. In case you were wondering, Casper's room was on the 4th floor down here in this wing. And so yeah, I think that at one point you run into the doctor who's been looking for you, Ernst, and she just reminds you that, hey, tomorrow morning, bright and early, I could use your help in the hospital. So will you come?
Sure, Dr. Gurren. I'll be there 7 a.m.
Great. And so she gives you a smile and shakes your hand again, and then she leaves. She's always smoking. And for a doctor, she should know better.
So, does Kuchich leave us in our room now? Like, he's not, like, did they post guard or something? Or
no, Kuchich says to you, here at the end of the hall, there's another brother. He kind of just watches the halls, in case anyone needs help or needs assistance from anybody. He's sort of like a hall monitor. So at the end of the hall, there's an open cell where it used to be a former guard station, but the doors are all open and unlocked. But yeah, so there's a minder there that just kind of keeps an eye on the wing, and they have one on each floor.
Sure. Is there a way to make sure the door doesn't close? mean, 'cause
The
this is a
doors don't
cell,
lock.
right?
Yeah, but they're electronically locked, and now they're turned off. So when the doors close, they just rest closed. You can just push them open again.
Okay.
So they don't latch shut and lock. And then sorry for some of you guys. There's been little activity for Gerard and Izzy, but the night has come, and you've had some communication with or Izzy. You come back from the town, I guess, right? From Piotrków, and
Yeah,
meet
I
up
guess
with
so.
Iz.
Two, right?
Mhm. And so Izzy and Gerard and Itzia, Katzman, you guys are on the outskirts, and you know that Carl and Ernst are still inside. So you can choose to either camp outside near the prison, or find a different place, or if you change your mind, you can go into the prison.
I'll just sleep in the
Yeah,
car.
Well, how is it going on, guys? Has there been any shooting? I start tapping on the hood.
no, there is something much better. I need to tell you about. He does speak Polish, right?
I speak Polish. Do you think I would be? I have to learn the language here to be able to communicate with you people, to let you know not to shoot. Unfortunately, we're mailmen.
He knocks on the dishka and says, "No need to use this. I have, in fact, something much better to tell you. Have you ever heard of the state of Silesia, the old state?
Silesia used to be mostly German, and then you guys removed them all.
What? Here.
Be part of Habsburg, Silesia.
Yeah, back in the old days.
Yes, Joseph Roth wrote much about it, especially about my people living there.
I'm going to guess that not much good resulted. Not much good happened.
Oh yes, there was this thing called World War II. It was bad for everyone involved.
Either way, that's not the topic at hand. As interesting as it would be to hear about the places you say, no. I'm here to tell you about this new Polish state.
There's a third one.
Yes, an actual Polish state, one that declares itself independent from all this conflict. And,
I guess you want to go there and check it out.
of course, I would.
Well, for starters, we'll need to head east. We need to set the radon. I need to deliver some mail, and then we'll head south. Silesia is very far, though.
Just out of curiosity,
You know where the Czech border is with Poland?
The map.
Yeah. Here, let's go back to the. I'll show you on the map. So I'll quickly go back to the main map, and you guys. I'll show you. Yeah. So you guys are currently here in Piotrków, which is almost the middle.
1 second, we're not on it.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to move. I moved myself. Why didn't you guys come with me? Oh, that's why. I see. So Piotrków is pretty much in the middle of the map. It's where you guys are. And Racibórz is right down here in the south. Near the Czech border. So the rumors that you heard from this Polish guard who wants to go there is that there's a new Polish state being built by a former Polish unit that is strong enough to make the area safe, kick out all Russians, kick out all NATO, kick out anybody who's not part of the new Polish state. Yeah, it's 130 kilometers basically.
We're going to need more
than that.
experience, my friend.
We're probably going to need a lot more fuel.
How are you? I would suggest as we get down to Radom and get to Chiesli. That's going to have supplies for us to make it, and then Krakow, which is a big city. I think Krakow has weathered the war a lot better, so we might be able to barter and such over there.
Yeah, you've heard rumors that Krakow is also, in some ways, a haven. If rumors can be believed, it's become a free city. It's declared itself independent of everyone and anybody.
Yes,
Yes.
Gerard,
And
we're
you can,
yes.
sorry. I just wanted to say that you can basically see him. See Gerard fantasizing about some unity between those two states.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I think this is a good place to start wrapping up, and we'll do experience, and then just kind of maybe set some goals for next time. So,
And also gear. Let's not forget about gear, like Northwest did.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said there, Gerard.
Let's not miss gear as well, because last time I had to record after we were done.
Okay, some gear stuff you're saying. Okay, so hey Cody, could you do the experience,
Sure.
and we'll just
Okay.
Some of you may have made a skill roll too that will allow you to gain some experience based on skill usage.
All right. So first one is, did you participate in the session? You get 1 XP just for being there. Let me just mark that on my sheet. Oops, wrong tab. Okay, next one. Did you follow your moral code despite significant risk to you or your group?
I don't think Gerard did.
Okay.
Did you risk or sacrifice something to follow your big dream?
Not really.
Maybe Carl did. Itzia might have, yeah.
I mean, we went into the compound, right?
That's true.
I don't know.
There's some potential risk there.
Yeah,
All right.
And you got your hands squashed by Rasputin.
I did.
Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the travel map that you had not visited before? Did we do
Yes.
that? Okay. All right. Did you overcome 1 or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent means?
I don't think Gerard and Izzy did so much.
I feel like Carl avoided
No,
2
it
shots.
was Carl.
I think Carl was the only one.
Yeah, Izzy and Gerard just sat back and watched over with the dish gun.
Yeah, played cards. Paper
I
cards.
feel like, played cards and Gerard would have talked Izzy's ears off with that Polish thing.
Yeah.
You keep
I think
forgetting
that's
that
what
Izzy
it-
does not
you
understand
know,
Polish.
He just looks at me and he's like, so he was talking about Cilicia. He talked lots about that.
That's right.
So, there was this 1 more dangerous events, and did you risk your life for your buddy?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No,
it might.
not really.
It was a low action session for sure.
For the talents, because I have 10 XP, I know it's 10 XP. Can I just, spend the XP on the talent, or is there something else, like some other hurdle I got to go through? Because I know other people have just said in the past, like, oh, I got 10 XP, I'm going to take this talent.
I forget what the.
I think it's something we can get with the XP. Because holy shit, we need to get like a common language going.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I should get Gerard to learn English properly.
So yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Alright,
Cody. So
Yeah, I'll spend
If-
10 XP
yeah.
to get linguist so I can speak Polish.
okay.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
listening to Gerard running his mouth constantly probably probably got me to learn enough Polish to be able to talk around.
I love
Doesn't know when to shut up.
it.
I think
Yeah, two-
Probably, what you learned from him was about nationalism to kicking out Russians.
don't
You should
specialties
control the
require
problems with experience.
Wait, what?
What was that?
don't specialties require a teacher?
Oh, yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, I know, but
Well-
it's just such a complex rule. Like, it's way more like the odds of finding somebody with specialties are just so remote. Like, I think it's just kind of stupid, and I would hope that they would rule it as like, I mean, obviously it's GM's choice, but you know, were it me, I would just say like, you know, you can just spend XP on the talent. So
Yeah, so and you're sitting in a car all day with the Polish speaker. We could say he taught you some Polish enough conversationally. Let's leave it at that. You got the talent, but yeah, it's maybe you won't be able to have a complicated conversation in Polish just yet. But at least you can communicate
yeah.
passively.
So
Yeah.
just to check, if I have 5 XP, can I just upgrade something to level B?
No,
I
B,
forget. I'm not sure how that works. So go ahead, Ernst.
B
You can-
costs more than that. Right?
I said
Yeah,
D.
every time you upgrade, it
Oh,
costs
D.
more XP. Because to
So you're
learn,
saying, yeah, he's saying D is in Delta. So you have nothing in it right now, and you want to upgrade it to level D as in Delta, like it's D6. Yeah. So then it's cheaper, right? If you go into B.
Yeah, D is 5, C is 10, 15 for B, and 20 for A is what the post
Correct.
says.
yeah, and you also,
So,
if
yes.
you you know, learn a new skill, you have to have rolled it during the session.
So
So like if
Okay,
you were
so
trying to
that-
if you were trying to roll range combat, but you didn't use like upgrade range combat, but you didn't use it during the session, you can't upgrade it.
Yeah.
That's if you have a rank in it. If you don't have a rank.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I should have clarified.
Cool.
So I can't learn D in manipulation because I didn't use it. That's
Yep.
what you're saying.
Oh, I think so can teach you. Catsman can teach you how to
Oh
speak.
yeah, that's true.
Okay. But you did use manipulation, didn't you use Ernst? Or was it persuasion?
It was straight empathy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Great empathy, but he also got a natural 1, so he did succeed.
Right.
Did not.
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, I think if you don't have the skill, you could say you used it, and then that way you can, you know what I'm saying? Like that way you could give yourself points in it, right?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah,
trying to
I would-
persuade. Go
Then
ahead.
I would take a D in manipulation, spend 5 points, so it's at least something there. Okay.
Yeah, it's good use of your experience points. Cool.
So just out of curiosity, what would be the equivalent of intimidation here?
I think that you'd still use persuasion, but we would just have a different outcome. You know, so you're just trying to persuade someone through intimidation. So we'd still roll your persuasion, and just the intended result would be different, right? You're not trying to convince someone through gentle means. You're basically trying to scare someone or intimidate them into doing what you want. Same thing.
So I'm guessing. So would let's just say specialized equipment help in this? Like, for example, the AKs pointed in their general direction.
I think that could potentially help. Yeah, pointing a gun at somebody tends to get results.
Unless they have a gun too.
Right.
And then you're just going to start getting into a thing that's going to get ugly right quick.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely add some stress. Hey guys, thanks for playing today. I appreciate it. I know there wasn't much fisticuffs today, but there probably will be next time. And so have a good.
Russians or that guy, the fucking GRU guy.
Right. Okay, have a great rest of your Sunday, you guys. We'll talk to you. See you online.
See ya.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
too,
Sounds
man.
good.